Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party and the Anti-War Rally, Saturday. I'm David Sponheim, running for president in 2016. I want to say hello to everybody, and I hope you're trying to have a cool day on a hot summer afternoon. It's even hot in the Northwest, which is unusual for us. We are here broadcasting live. Some of you are probably trying to pick us up in recorded broadcast history. Either way, we are monitoring chat over at various networks like iVlog, Vaughn, Battlecam, and I'm going to add the YouTube chat room, which is also available to you, and I'll give you a link in just a second. The live stream is available for you to chat. These are more chat options right now. If you're having problems getting into in just a second. The show, here it is. The live stream is available for you to chat. These are more chat options at that location. All right. Cool intro, but do you have two different logos? One with stripes looks like 90s. We don't really pay attention to 90s versus... You understand, we don't have any set style. We haven't been developed by some ad agency. We aren't some candy cut cookie cutter mentality here. We're actually, from the ground up, Americans just struggling to get a word into our political system. And we've yet to be able to break the censorship that has destroyed our nation's ability to communicate. 8 years now and still trying. So the way our logos look has no bearing on the censorship that is bearing hard on the freedom of expression that we are being stifled every day in our show. So if you're wondering why we aren't producing new logos, we've actually had advertising companies talk about developing logos for us, but they want to charge. And one of the reasons why we're still doing this after 8 years is we don't pay people to do logo development. Okay. Well, you can like our logos, you can work on logos yourself, you can spend your time volunteering, but we don't finance this operation based on an advertising budget or a PR firm, and we have none of the slick speechwriters that Donald Trump has or Hillary Clinton has. So we are Americans struggling to get communication on political issues, and if you don't realize how censored the media, the mainstream media is, you won't understand what we're doing here. You're 8 years late, buddy. You should have come in here 8 years ago and helped us out. Now you can sit back and watch as we grow using a brand new technique, which I developed in 2008 because I realized how bad the situation was, which is called word of mouth advertising. And because we have word of mouth advertising, we also have a tremendous amount of negative comments coming our way. So when I turn guest chat on, you're going to see all these people wanting to kill me, hating on what we're doing, making up stories about me. Unbelievable accosting of our show goes on right before your very eyes. You're going to watch people who are frightened that we might get 1 minute of airtime before the election. We only cut off guests because we got numerous death threats earlier, and we had to deal with that. Nice. We cut off guests in the event it does have a guy post the same thing over and over again. And we have guest chat ready to go off at any time just for that purpose. We are also recording the guest chat. It is being recorded on a separate server, and every single threat that comes in here will be processed as a hate crime and will be charged with a crime itself if you threaten me or Sarah. Yeah, so I just want everybody who is a legitimate third-party interested person to know that we are fighting the worst possible people who control the two parties right now. These are the scumbags of the earth that are clinging to power and wanting to control every single issue and never give the American people a hand up or a choice as to how their country should be led. Now see, we've got a lot of people already starting with the hate that's coming in. Every single time you support another candidate here, you will be purged or banned. Well, they do on a nightly basis. I don't know why they would do that. Somebody said last night that the threats are so common that they happen in every single chat room. And I don't know because I'm not in other chat rooms, but that to me is extremely upsetting. I believe that we need to have anti-cyber terrorism laws that will prevent innocent people from being attacked and constantly harassed to the point where some people can't take it. Some people don't have thick skin like I do. But having done this for 8 years, I'm fully prepared to take whatever they throw at me. But they have to also be aware that anything that they say is a felony if it's a threat against Sarah or my life. And we will process it as a felony. I am settled down. The bottom line is we need to start the entire plan of making people aware that the war in Syria is just not working. And we have an interview that we pulled from 60 Minutes of Steve Kroft interviewing Barack Obama on this subject, and I think it's very apropos that I play it for you. It's bizarre how true it is, and I've been saying all along that supporting rebel troops in Syria was a mistake, but now Steve Kroft has really laid it on the line and shows you clearly that Barack Obama is flustered over this issue. Watch this.
An embarrassment.
You got a half a
CBS's Steve Kroft pressed President Obama on his foreign policy shortcomings, labeling his efforts in Syria an embarrassment.
You got $500 million from Congress to train and equip 5,000. And at the end, according to the commander of CENTCOM, you got 50 people, most of whom are dead or deserted. Well, you got he said 4 or 5 left.
Steve, this is why I've been skeptical from the get-go about the notion that we were going to effectively create this proxy army inside of Syria.
If you were skeptical of the program to find and identify, train, and equip moderate Syrians, why did you go through the program?
Well, because part of what we have to do here, Steve, is to try different things.
I know you don't want to talk about this.
No, I'm happy to talk about it.
I want to talk about this program because it would seem to show, I mean, if you expect 5,000 and you get 5, it shows that somebody, someplace along the line, made some sort of a serious miscalculation.
You know, Steve, let me just say this.
It's an embarrassment.
Look, there is no doubt that it did not work.
Kroft then put Obama on the defensive by asking him about his leadership in Vladimir Putin.
You said a year ago that the United States, America leads, we're the indispensable nation. Mr. Putin seems to be challenging that leadership.
In what way? Let's think about this.
Well, he's moved troops into Syria, for one. He's got people on the ground. 2, the Russians are conducting military operations in the Middle East for the first time since World War II.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that short because Obama starts bumbling and starts doing his little stutter routine with if, you know how he does that. What we are aware of now is Steve Kroft is on point. For the first time since World War II, Russia is in the Middle East engaged in operations. And just today, two of our planes were tested by Syrian Air Force pilots, and we had a near scrimmage, which is raising us to DEFCON 4, which is a serious situation. Our country is now closer than ever to a potential conflict with Russia, and you can thank Barack Obama for that. Steve Kroft is a good guy. I like his work. I think he's been one of the best guys in media today, and he goes out there fearlessly trying to approach the truth, and he does a good job. I really like his work. One of the few people. Our DEFCON level did not change. I stand corrected. We're still at DEFCON 3. Okay, I did not get corroboration on that, so you'll have to pardon me. We've got a person in here who makes up stories, and I can't verify everything. We're at DEFCON 5? Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's good to know. Okay, so now you guys are looking at the guy who is committing a felony in our room, and we're recording that broadcast. You can see that he's committing a felony right here. So how many people are waiting for the end of the world and getting scared? Swanheim SquarePant, where have you been? Nice to see you. But no need to be scared. People who are doing good for themselves will keep it sweet. I like that attitude. We've got the iVlogcast on. I'm amazed you guys haven't seen us. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't turn it on. My mistake. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I started a private broadcast. Okay, well, that was good anyway. So we will shut guest chat off as these people come in here. And then we go ahead and turn off what they say. Okay, let's take a look at the DEF CON warning system right now. And then we're going to talk about Donald Trump. Okay, we're at green, DEF CON 5. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Fantastic. There's no imminent nuclear threats. And here I was led to believe we were at DEF CON 4 by somebody in our room. All right. Good to know. You know, I'm going to have to revert to that every time I want to get a specific answer. Because hearsay just doesn't cut it. We are at DEF CON 5, which is a good place to be. All right, good. Luckily, we don't have Peter Sellers in the room and Slim Pickens. Okay, so thank you. Oh, you're saying it was DEF CON 4 during the plan? You know, that's just ridiculous. We don't take nonsense for the guest chatters. We are recording the broadcast too. Let's take a look at Donald Trump's recent revelations. Now, because he won't reveal his tax return, people are piecing together a very, very dark and mysterious clandestine world of finances. But Trump's companies have at least $650 million in debt, some of it to the Bank of China. Now, Donald Trump doesn't know this, no one's told him, but if he were to become president, he would have to put all of his personal investments in a public trust. And with all the money he owes, and he's an investigation into more than 30 U.S. properties connected, Trump revealed his companies have at least $650 million in debt, and he shares $2 billion in debt with 3 passive partnerships. So the reveal that he had $10 million because he campaigns on what he says in spectacularly successful real estate record claiming to be worth $10 billion is not necessarily true. The New York Times employed a property information firm to search publicly available data on properties connected to him. He's dismissed mounting pressures to disclose his tax returns like he said he was going to. So when a person is hiding from somebody, trying to avoid revealing information, he's beginning to look more and more like Hillary. It's beginning to look a lot like deception. Yeah. So if you want to look at that link, you can get all that information at dailymail.co.uk. Yeah, they only scrambled 2 F-22s in a show of overkill. Yeah. It's no big deal. I said that this was going to go on and on with Syria as long as we're there. I am the only presidential candidate, everybody, who does not want our troops to remain invested overseas. I will subtract troops from the Middle East. I'll bring our troops home. And I'm the only candidate running who wants to end the Federal Reserve. Donald Trump won't even talk about it because he's got handlers now, like Henry Kissinger and many members of the AIPAC organization that funds Donald Trump, the Zionist AIPAC organization. They won't let him end the Federal Reserve because those people have investments in our country through the Federal Reserve. They have a stake in our monetary system. They're not about to get rid of it. So Donald Trump and Hillary are both Zionists. They both support the Federal Reserve. They both continued want to have a ground war in Syria, which I'm against. Trump has even talked about a ground war in Iran. And some people really think this is a good idea. I think it's insane. And I'm the only presidential candidate who wants legalization of recreational marijuana. Because Gary Johnson wants legalization of medical marijuana. I don't want that. I don't want you to have to fill out a prescription and create another layer of big government. Prescriptions don't work. The state of Washington is a classic example. They're phasing out their medical marijuana dispensary system. I'm sure you've all had a drink out of a cup like this in your life. Corning, one of the great American companies that struggled over the past few years. Trump isn't worth anywhere near $1 billion. Look at the fact that he even said he filed or threatened to file a lawsuit against Forbes when they came out with the Forbes 500 a few years back, they didn't add him to the billionaire list. I don't even know where that case went. I don't even know if he's pursuing a lawsuit. This guy takes on lawsuits like some people wipe their butt with toilet paper. Hi, Earthman. Yeah, and war has cost us a lot of money, hasn't it? Yeah. This will be the future of our country, talking to the American people in a kind of a fireside chat situation every night. 1 hour a night, I will have a chat room in the Oval Office to discuss the issues of the day and the pending crises that we have to deal with and how we're going to fix the problems in the country. I'm going to give you daily updates. No other presidential candidate's ever committed to this. Trump recently heard my plan, and he copied it, like he's copied 10 of my ideas already. 4 months ago, I started talking about having a 24/7 chat room at the Oval Office. Well, just a couple weeks ago, he started saying he was going to come up with a 24/7 chat line. People can call in their concerns. And this guy's stealing everything we do, claiming it as his own idea. And because I've been censored for the past 8 years by the media, all of my ideas are still sitting there on our website, American Third Party, americasthirdparty.com, and you can see the old site is still up and running. We have it in there. Click on the old site button, and you can see the same ideas that Trump is now claiming are his, that we've had for 8 years. Mobile medical units, safe zones in and around Iraq and Afghanistan. Ideas like a 1,000-mile fence was our idea in 2008. It's sick that a person can just steal ideas and get away with it in this country. But that shows you how corrupt our country is. I'm a living testimony to how this corruption is suppressing the American people. Well, now a website is offering a $1 million bounty for Hillary Clinton's medical records. I thought that the medical records were released recently because the father of one of the doctors that she has recently died of a mysterious drowning. I'm not quite sure what's going on because we've seen Hillary Clinton's medical records online. They're already exposed. A political website is offering a $1 million bounty for a whistleblower to leak Hillary Clinton's medical records. Well, the doctor, the physical therapist's father already died leaking them. I don't understand. You see, this is almost redundant. Yeah, her medical records were already released over a month ago, and the father of the physical therapist, her doctor, has died a mysterious death. Her death toll is up to 56 that we know of, 86 that we don't know of. Many people think that there's a lot of ancillary deaths that are connected somehow to the Clintons. Well, Earthman, if Trump never gives me credit, then you will know, all of you will know who've been watching me for 8 years, that what I say is the truth. And you know, when you know the truth, it really helps you. It helps you get through life. We know that they are lying to us. We know that we are powerless. We know that we have got to do something more than we're doing right now to get the more people to talk about America's Third Party. And it's really helping to know that people all around the world are now discussing the rise of a third party and how we're being censored. So we're definitely on the road to getting that critical mass we need to reach the media. But I never expected to get in the media, let alone be libeled in the media like I was by Rolling Stone magazine. And I didn't expect that to be the first doorway into the media. But you know something? At this point, I'll take whatever I get, but it's not the media that shows and discusses the issues. It's a media that calls people names and uses cheap shots, and calling me a bizarre fringe candidate in the Rolling Stone magazine was a big, big mistake on their part. Thank you for knowing me. I didn't know I was famous. Yeah, I'd be glad to bring you my IQ information. Yeah, I even have the IQ exam, but the more I think about it, the more I realize that, you haven't gotten any proof that Barack Obama went to Columbia or Harvard. There's not a stitch of proof that Barack Obama went to those universities. And yet you ask me for all the proof that I'd have to get a subpoena to get out of my high school when they gave me an IQ test in 1976. Isn't that ironic? I could gladly show you a picture of Barack Obama that's been photoshopped. Here is one of the most famous, ridiculous pictures we've ever seen. claiming that he was the president of the law review at Harvard. Look at the angles and all the different lights and how his head is bigger than everybody else's head. It's just bizarre. The lights don't even match. The sunshine shining in different directions on various faces. It's clearly been photoshopped in. And moreover, I've got absolute proof, absolute unmistakable proof that Barack Obama was not at Harvard. I have 9 copies of this magazine, GQ, with Magic Johnson on it, which I will present in court gladly, showing them that the article at the top, The Uncivil War at Harvard Law, which talked about Harvard itself and the minorities at Harvard in detail, 1 year after Barack Obama allegedly was the president of the Harvard Law Review. And there is not one mention of Barack Obama in this magazine. Now, I could have John Sedgwick put on the stand and have him interviewed why he didn't interview the president of the Harvard Law Review, and he would say to me there was no president named Barack Obama because he wasn't even there. He did an article that really did a detailed discussion of minority problems at Harvard Law. So, I mean, I've got categorical proof that Barack Obama wasn't the president of the Harvard Law Review. That's a beginning point. And by the way, Trump will not prosecute Barack Obama. He won't say those words. Trump dropped the birther thing as soon as he became taken seriously as a presidential candidate. He simply used it as a way, a ploy, to get noticed. There's no mention of Barack Obama in that article because he was a minority at Harvard and he would have been featured in that article. He would have been the top featured person on that article. I have seen Barack Obama's headscar. Would you like to talk about that? Now that's pretty funny, but it's not true. Would you rather focus on Trump's debt? We'll just keep that on the screen while we look for Barack Obama's headscar. I just feel that there's a terrible disconnect going on in our country. The American people don't have any oversight over what's happening. I don't mind Barack Obama being on the way out, but bear in mind we could actually erase Obamacare, guess 4406, and you'll begin to see a repair to our economy when that happens. Okay, as you can see, we've got a person who's threatening my life and committing a felony in the chat room. This is how scared they are that I'm going to get some coverage. We are recording that, and you will be prosecuted, sir. Okay, you've got an electric car. She'll be coming in shortly, don't worry. David, show us your electric vehicle versus this piece of crap. I don't know, man. I like this. What don't you like about it? It's got an interesting design. Hang on, let's put Hillary out here for a second. I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty nice car. I like our car that we bought. We bought 2 hybrids ourselves, but look at that. It's a Mercedes, huh? It's a 20-foot luxury electric Maybach. Yeah, wobbly head syndrome. We're not going to focus on just this election. We're going to focus on fixing the problems of the country. Now, clearly, if Trump has $650 million debt, some of it to the Bank of China, he's not a guy who's going to be insulated from being threatened or blackmailed by China. I got to tell you, with a person like Trump running the country, we would actually not know if he's going to be doing the bidding of China, in that he buys his ties from China. His daughter buys her clothing from China. They exploit labor. and that they lie about it on TV, and then they come up with some ridiculous plan to put a 30% tariff on China, which is really copying our idea of a 15% tariff on China, which is kind of interesting, don't you think? No, nobody can go to my house. I live in absolute secrecy and privacy. Thank you. All right, so we're going to be discussing tonight how to disengage from wars that are repetitive, right out of the playbook of the Illuminati, the New World Order, the people that want to start wars, because their directive primarily is to depopulate. They want to get rid of 90% of the population. Many of you don't realize this, but I'm really kind of helping you out here. Yeah, it looks a lot like this car. This is a Jaguar. I like that. You know, I really love the original Jaguar that came out, the old one, the 1960s. It was my favorite car. But now I live the dream. I have a car that's absolutely fantastic. It's a hybrid. And I'll show it to you as soon as I can. Trump actually had a town hall meeting with the Rothschilds. Are you serious? Do you have a copy of that, Red Dead Ferguson? That's fascinating. No, these guests will not stop. They're paid COINTEL. It's called COINTELPRO. These people are paid by our competitors to come in the show. They make a salary doing it. Okay, we're going to do guest off. So what they're doing, folks, is they're trying to make it so other guests can't come in and chat. And as you know, I just turned guest chat off, which is an opportunity for you to get another account, a username, or just come in when I turn guest chat on. But not only are they censoring us here, but they've got capacity server messages to everybody who wants to get into our chat show, and then we've got an alternate chat show. Buds Aplenty says, get it, leave. Dave, you need some pot leaves, t-shirts, or bumper stickers. Buds Aplenty, we have them. Go to our store. God, man. You people just, all you have to do is scratch and sniff, and you'll see all kinds of new opportunities. We have marijuana leaf t-shirts. God, I can't believe I get these people asking me these questions. And Eddie says, better video and sound over there. Nice, Eddie. It's kind of cool. And Eddie's in here. He's got a communication going on. Eddie, you're waving at me. I'm liking you. I'm going to keep you out. You're running a good show, Eddie. Thank you. Eddie's taking this seriously, and he's coming in. He's just being a nice guy. I like the fact that Eddie's in there at iVlog, and we've got multiple cam options over there if you want to go over there. Let me show you Eddie's picture. There he is right there, Eddie. Now, it's possible Eddie's not trolling me. He's just a nice guy. See? He wants to even say something. He's chatting. Eddie's cool. Yeah, cool. So you could be Eddie over there at iVlog. If you are having problems getting into our chat server, you can use this as a spillover option. Or we have the actual video chat for our YouTube video, which is live, by the way. And recorded. We do record it to archive if you ever miss a show. There's the Jaguar 66 that I'm talking about. You found it? Ah, that's one of my favorite first cars. This is it. Make no mistake about it. Let's be clear. Look at that. That is one of the classic cars of all times. I absolutely love that car. The hood is like 8 feet long, and the engine is a V8 in a light body. It's fantastic. Thanks for finding that. I'll show you the car I have. This is, some people call it a clown car. But in 2006, I noticed that there was going to be higher prices in fuel, so I went out and bought this vehicle that I'm going to show you right now. And this is 8 years ago that I took this video. And this was 50 days into the election in 2008. Watch this.
Hi, good morning. As you can see, I'm still wearing the shirt I wore last night and yesterday at Blog TV. It's exhilarating to do Blog TV. We've been having an incredible time. This is in fact day 54. I thought yesterday was day 54, but we did a recount. And we determined that today is day 54 as we approach the election. And as your potential write-in candidate, David John Sponheim, I'm here to show you my hybrid electric vehicle. It's not a plug-in hybrid. That's something I want to build at the U.S. Auto Corporation that I want you, the people, to own. Check out this vehicle.
Isn't that a beautiful car? Everywhere we go, we get looks. One of the reasons people look at us is we get about 60 miles per gallon, which is really nice. We've been across the country a few times. You know, it actually paid for itself. This car actually paid for itself. It's amazing. And I bought a car just like it, without the pinstriping and the guard, the door guard, for Sarah. So we have kind of dueling cars, and she loves her car. Oh, there you go. You got the Princess Leia look. This is amazing. That's amazing. Wow. Here she is. Sarah has arrived. She's got her hair up. It's a hot day, so she wanted to pin her hair up. And hang on just a second. I'm bringing in the car. There it is. This is the one I got Sarah. So we have one of each. This is a CVT transmission from 2001, and mine is the Honda Insight from 2000, 5-speed. So mine's a little older than hers. But it's a pretty nice car. Now I'm going to show you Sarah and her brand new hairdo. A really big hairdo. You're going to be amazed. There she is.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome. I'm glad I'm here. Well, you know, I tried pulling this off the other night, but I just didn't do a good job, so I decided to do it tonight.
Good.
The correct way.
Might as
with
well.
Bobby pins.
Yeah. Bobby pins is the way.
Bobby pins. Right. This is gonna do.
Yeah, you have to do bobby pins to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, you pulled it off. You got so much hair, it's amazing. Her hair is like 3 feet long.
I've always wanted to have hair like this.
Are you really?
I
I
wanted
mean,
to do this hairdo, like when I was
the
a
Princess
little
Leia
kid.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know my hair was never long enough. I know it looks like headphones.
Yeah, Pippi Longstockings, all grown up. Incredible hair. Well, she has beautiful brown hair, and it is so nice. We've said to Sarah, don't cut it. It's an incredible feature. You don't want to lose that. And I'm sure she has the desire sometimes to have a lighter head, but, you know, I keep my hair short, and I feel better because of it, but she's really amazing, handling all that hair. So we are looking at, this story just came in, Trump's companies have at least $650 million in debt, some of it to the Bank of China.
I believe it.
And Hillary, with all those emails out there that have been taken by the Russians have been hacking into her emails, the ones that she claims she lost. They may have enough on her to blackmail her. So Trump's got massive debt that could be blackmailed against him. Hillary has a massive amount of email information that could find her complicit in the death of Chris Stevens, possibly. That could be used against her if a hacker was to say, hey, you know, you better do what we tell you to do as you're... This makes both Trump and Hillary a dangerous presidential candidate, putting our nation at a very big risk.
Tied up in 3 passive partnerships that owe $2 billion as well.
Yeah, he's got $2 billion outstanding debt in 3 passive partnerships.
Oh, that's the car you used, like, you do.
This was my ideal car as a kid, before I found our car, the Insight. But this is the Black Beauty. It's a 66 Jaguar XKE FHC. And I've never seen a car that I like more than that, next to the car I drive right now, which is my dream car. So I don't think I'm going to get this gas guzzler, because I have a feeling I'd be smelling it going down the road. It only got like, you got like 12 miles per gallon, and it could go like 0 to 60 in
Super fast.
in 5.5 seconds. But that was back then. All right, so a lot of reasons not to vote for Trump in this election. Again, bringing our troops home, ending the Federal Reserve, both ideas that both Hillary and Donald do not in any way endorse. A good reason for our country to realize the direction we need to go in. And I've put together a plan to end the Federal Reserve by the end of 2017. by creating an infrastructure bank directly to the discount window at the Treasury. As president, I'll have the only access in the country to the Exchange Stabilization Fund. And I'll be able to allocate a certain amount of money for the infrastructure bank and be able to pull this nation off the ground that it's at, left here by Barack Obama and George W. Bush. So we need a definite change in direction. Now, the Fed can't do anything to stimulate the economy. We've seen that they don't even know how to loan money to American businesses, to hire American citizens. Our infrastructure bank will actually offer a 2% loan to U.S. businesses hiring U.S. citizens at a living wage. How about them apples? Get this back up again. We had a little crisis there.
I'm sorry.
Well, the stuff past the House or Republicans won't even be necessary. Step and ease. Yeah. I don't think it's a problem to look at an infrastructure bank. They're going to see the importance of stimulating growth in the economic sector of U.S. businesses. I won't have a problem selling it at all. If anything, the Republicans won't be my impasse. The Democrats will be. They're the ones that don't seem to be embracing business in America. I have the same notion that the Republicans have about lowering restrictions on small business. And I have the same notion that many of the liberals who voted for Bernie has about making sure the too big to fail companies are charged with crimes when they take money from the American taxpayer and not pay it back or violate the standards, like the TARP funds that were given out and all those CEOs that got way over $500,000 apiece per year. Obama never prosecuted them.
Help me, David Sponheim. You are our only hope.
I certainly think that we need a person like me, I'll tell you that. Sarah loves the funness of our Saturday show, and plus it's kind of warm here today. We got near 90 degrees. I will not in any way discuss anything with secret societies or Rothschilds. Believe me, the Rothschilds will need me a lot more than I'll need them. The fact is, I don't kowtow to secret societies and never will. These people are holding our country, hijacking our country's monetary system and acting like they can control the destiny of the world with us as their police force. No, I don't really want to dance right now, okay? We're kind of keeping our energy level to a minimum. You know, I do wear a mask to protect my lungs whenever I drive in cars that pollute. I rarely do that, so. My car doesn't pollute. It has a zero. Our car has a zero pollution rating. We actually have a negative pollution rating. Our catalytic converters clean the air that goes into the intake manifold. You want cowbell instead of dance time? Believe me, I'm not discussing how secretive the Rothschilds are. I'm the guy who is exposing the Illuminati on a nightly basis. You should go to our Monday show. We do a detailed discussion of their power. You will not get any of that information on a mainstream media show. You won't get any good quality discussion on that level. But tonight we're really going to talk about the bankers like the Rothschilds that really want war and why they want war. They want war because their primary objective is depopulation.
Yes,
Let's hit the
they
record
don't.
on that.
Okay.
Their primary goal is to get rid of 90% of the population. Let me ask you, if you were rich and you could replace your labor force with robots, and you looked at all these people as useless eaters who, gather every year and eat like a normal person would, or go to fast food restaurants, and they see all these people in the country as useless eaters who are not even necessary to their wealth anymore. If you're evil and you're willing to do the unthinkable, commit genocide, that's the mindset of these bankers. They'd be more than happy to have wars upon wars and finance both sides just to get rid of people. They'd be more than willing to completely pollute the air that we breathe and destroy the California coastline with what is apparently a slow kill, an attack of weather modification tools like HAARP against our California shoreline, which is killing the entire California coastline and the property values, and the water is drying up left and right. And all of this is being done purposely. These are the kind of people that would commit genocide. So these are the people we're dealing with who control the two parties. Now I'm pitching you about a third party and the need for a third party, because it's that serious. It's never been more serious for a third party in America than it is today. Okay, Sarah's going to take over the show while I take care of a few chores around the house, and I'll be back to talk to you guys. And you can always hit the guest off button if these people act up.
Okay.
Because we are recording the broadcast for all of you people who claim you're going to kill me or something. Yeah, that's a felony, by the way. You can't threaten me in the show. It's a felony. All right. Thanks for coming in.
So part of the reason that he has so much power is he had a big banking takeover is how he gained some of that power. And yes, it's David Sponheim for president. He'll make a great president and do a great job leading our country. I think David Sponheim is better than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, correct. Don't threaten David. We don't want to commit any felonies here. We want all good things all the time. I understand why people think that about George Soros. I don't think a lot about a lot of people. Hello, Reggie. Hello, everybody over at iVlog. I might not have said hi to you earlier. Oh, thanks, Reggie. ATP 2016. Yay. Hello, Eddie. I'm glad some of you liked my Princess Leia look. I was working on that. I know I tried it the other night and decided I should just see how it goes tonight. Let's see. Alright, good. Yes, exactly, NYPD wanted. It's one of those things. Alright, and hello, viewers. Good. Fantastic. Alright. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a hot day today, so I'm hoping it'll cool off pretty soon. But today is a rather hot day, so we're yeah, I'm just hanging out and decided to wear a nice summer top for summer and put my hair up a little bit. He wouldn't know, 320. People can say all kinds of things about me, but they haven't even met me in real life. So how would they know things? Hello, Inventor Jim Genius. Thank you for co-casting. Alright, and hello, Reggie. Thanks for co-casting. And Eddie 907, thank you for co-casting. That was kind of funny. I was looking at Eddie's and Inventor Jim Geniuses, and you guys kind of like went toward each other. Like, oh, you have a cat. How cute is your cat, Eddie? Your cat's like mine. I put her up to the camera and she's like, get off of me. I do not want to be in your lap right now. Or held, especially on a hot day like today is. How many meals has Chili gone for? 5 meals so far. It's probably individual servings, probably 6. Oh, you have another cat. Wow, Eddie, you got all the cats. I know, Jackson, I believe you. You just here, I'll just turn off guest chat. Stop being so mean to Jackson. Here, I'll clear the chat. How about that? That's good. Way to start fresh. You're welcome. I mean, that happens, Jackson, so I appreciate your support. You've got a shine going on. Oh, your gray one is mad? Oh, okay. She's like, leave me alone. Alright, good. Thank you very much. You just drank your last Leinenkugel? Oh, I don't know what that means, DJS Love, because I don't drink beer. Thanks, Sheriff Woody. Well, my RTD2 is going on a mission to Obi-Wan Kenobi. C-3PO has joined him. Did I hear about Kirsten Lindsay, who was a vet and killed a cat by a bow? No, I did not hear about that. Thanks for letting me know, Potato Girl. I didn't know about Leanin' Kugels. Okay. You're going to try a show? Nice. Have fun. Okay. I would like the Leanin' Kugel because it's beer, honey flavored beer that's honey flavored. I'm not a big beer fan, but on a hot day, maybe. Yeah, maybe it would work. Alright. C-3PO always sounds like something from a Carry On movie. You always expect him to suddenly say, "Ooh, matron," something like that, or matron. All right, going back to iVlog, and then I was going to check out what's in the. Thank you very much, Sohi. We've got to get all of the people voting for Sponheim to save the galaxy. That's what we need here in the United States of America. Okay, we have a lot of things open. I should start showing you guys some of the things that David has open so that I can bookmark them and close them out. That sounds like a plan to me. The round robin of websites that David has from people that have given him links. So this one's from the Daily Mail.com about Trump's companies have at least $650 million in debt, some of it to the Bank of China. How does that fare compared to the United States? Okay, I will bookmark this page. And you guys can let me know if you would like any of these links posted in the room. Thank you, I Like Stuff. Thank you for rescuing me from Darth Vader. That would be great. Wow, so many links open. I'm just trying to get another page so I can start bookmarking this. There we go. Are there any, Red Ed Ferguson, any ideas David has concerning alternative propellants and fuels? Well, yes. One thing that would be really great is, of course, better batteries. And the batteries that run the White Zombie car, that would be very good. You want me to bookmark some absurd conspiracy theories you like when David gets livid in the post show because I bookmarked them and saved them and then, or I just closed out of them and I didn't leave them up? That's more like it because I don't really like to bookmark them. I just like to close them out. No, Old Wrinkle, I'm the one that likes Princess Leia. And I always wanted to look like Princess Leia, so now I can. Because I have hair that's long enough to look like Princess Leia. All the time I wanted to, I had really, really short hair. Oh, and then with fuels, there was another battery David was talking about just yesterday about they're looking at batteries that can recharge at least for cell phones. That would be good. Thank you, Jackson. All right. Trump. Debt. There we go. Add this. And I'll close out of this one. Let's see what the next one is. Zika. This is natural news. U.S. military used Zika mosquito as a biological weapon against communists. This is about where Zika came from. Do you guys think I should bookmark this one or just close it out? I kind of think I should just close it out. Interesting. You want the link? I know. Oh, I want to adopt an Ewok. They're so cute and adorable. But boy, can they fight. They uncovered a little known plot by the American military to use Aedes mosquitoes, the main carriers of Zika, as a biological weapons delivery system during McCarthy-era Red Scare. I think this link is more interesting. Bioterrorism news. This is a new conspiracy site. Well, a conspiracy site I haven't seen before. I wonder if it is conspiracy. Could disclose.tv. Yeah, kind of. Other links come from those, but I'll add it anyway. Fortunately, Jabba was just an adorable person in that big, ugly costume. So he was very nice. That was bizarre. Yes. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt did scare me when I was a kid. I just did not like Jabba the Hutt character. Ugh. Okay, I'll add this. I think that site's interesting. I'm going to get rid of the Zika thing. Alright, House of Clinton. What is this? Lizette.com, Life Explained. With many scandals during the course of their 30 years in power, Bill and Hillary seem to be living out the popular Netflix series House of Cards. A long list of people in the Clinton inner circles have died under mysterious circumstances over the years, and at least 3 more people with connections to Bill and Hillary have joined that list since the 2016 election cycle began. This has sparked a renewed interest in the so-called body count of people who allegedly got in the way of the Clinton machine. So it's a video. House of Clinton. Okay, I might leave that. Yeah, I bet it did take 10 men to work. Jabba the Hutt. Useless trivia.
Martin County deputies are trying to identify a man they say fatally stabbed a couple before beginning to bite off one of their faces.
So when she got there, she realized that the offender was actually a...
Okay, that's just weird. He was wearing a Donald Trump mask when he did this. That is just weird. I don't think I'm going to save that. You've not turned on the news yet? Good, me either. Hannity.com. Oh. Maybe. Okay. Bombshell. Clinton Foundation witnesses coming forward in pay-for-play out investigation. This sounds like a good one to bookmark. Am I Rh negative? I used to know my blood type, but I actually forgot it. I don't think I'm Rh negative. I'm a very common blood type. Or, not common, but I am the blood type that can be used for basically everything. Is that O negative? But it can be used for everything except one other blood type. Okay, I definitely want to save this link so that I can close out of this because it's not even coming up. This Hannity.com link is taking too long to load. Clinton Foundation. Okay, that's not gonna investigation. Okay, bad link. Cute smileys. All right. Type O positive is a universal donor. I think that's what I am, but I'm not totally positive. Yeah, I think I'm O positive then. Universal donor. But I did donate blood once when I was younger. Thank you, G195. I worked hard on my Princess Leia hair. I wanted to get it off my back, so that's good. All right. Bombshell. Washington Post confirms Hillary Clinton started the birther movement. Do I think this is important? No. I don't. Yeah, there you go. I like Dr. Meow. That's cute. O positive, but not always positive. Every neighborhood in America is mapped to show risk levels of lead contamination in the water supply. Let's get their actual link where they get this information from, rather than just linking to natural news. I should go to the mall and people would ask me for my autograph, but I'd have to sign Princess Leia. I knew it at one time, Abnormal. It's just one of those things that I don't know if it was that important to me at the time. I mean, I learned what my blood type was in high school. Vox.com. Well, isn't Vox like a... Okay, I'll do it from here. See, I'm going to... The risk of lead poisoning isn't just in Flint, so they mapped the risk of in every neighborhood in America. Wow. Who is that a picture of? Reggie? Eddie, I think, is himself, and Reggie and DJS Love obviously have pictures of other people. Yes, you should store your own plasma, and I should store my own blood. No, I did this to my own hair. It took me a while, but I got it. I think it's good. All right. No, this room is about David as President of the United States in the near future. It will happen. We just have to get him there. Yeah, I know, Sohi. I'm sorry. So he says the show's about politics, but when Sarah came in, it turned into all Star Wars. Okay, lead exposure risk map. That's what I will call it. Lead. Okay. All right, do you guys want me to check your area? We can explore the lead exposure. Let's go into, let's say, where I am. So if you're, and they have a level 1 through 10, red of course being, being 10. So out on the Olympic Peninsula, it's pretty high up there, like a 8, right over there. Down here, some levels are in the 8s and 9s and 10s, but for the most part, there's low level lead issues, except in Seattle proper, there seems to be some. You guys want me to put in here? I can maybe type in just my zip code. And then I'll click find me. No, I don't want to share my location with you. Not now. Then will it actually find me? Let me go here and hit enter. No. Okay, well, anyway, here is a link to a map where you can search for yourself and find your risk of lead contamination. Is David in bed after eating the chemtrail stew he made the other night? It wasn't chemtrail stew, it was like a chili, and it was actually pretty good. I like the chilies. David adds some interesting things to his chili, like carrots and celery. But other than that, and including that, it was pretty good. Well, yes. When it goes past the expiration date, some of the things are still good. They used to not put expiration dates on cans of food at all. Actually, in like 1999, there were no expiration dates on cans of food. I know, because I have some of those cans still. And I only know how old they are because I was here at the turn of the century. Arizona parasite outbreak according to CNN. How think tanks generate endless wars. That's probably true. A swimming pool parasite. Yikes. That is kind of scary. A swimming pool parasite is spreading across the Phoenix area. That's very scary. Health officials in Phoenix are working to stop a parasite outbreak that causes diarrhea. The microscopic parasite Cryptosporidium was first reported August 4th. More than 100 people have been sickened at about 20 public recreational water facilities. They're recommending any facility in which an infected person swam prior to illness or while sick should be treated for crypto. Yeah, guess who did something in the pool? Not good. That's what causes back all these parasites to replicate. Not good. Ugh. They're notifying the facilities that are affected, recommending that CDC guidelines for decontamination are being followed. Residents are encouraged to take proper measures when using recreational water areas to prevent the spread of disease. It happens when an infected person contaminates the water with fecal matter. Ugh, so gross. Oh. Yes, it's a living organism that lives on or in another organism, and it can infect your bowels or intestines. Oh my goodness. Oh, Dr. Meow, could this be the guy he said? And he's giving me a link to some guy that did that. Okay. That is pretty funny. During a 50-kilometer walk race, he just didn't want to take any time to go to the bathroom, so he just go ahead and he went. At least he wasn't in the pool, Dr. Meow. Oh man. Like when I say organism. Well, the deputy was a good person. That's why I shot the sheriff. No, I would never hurt anyone. I like that song only because Bob Marley and I share a birthday, but that's the only reason I like the song. I like other Bob Marley songs better. Sorry, Tylenol. I won't talk anymore about those gross bodily fluids. Let's talk about good things. This is my natural hair color. So you can see some grays, some browns, and some reds. My mom is a total redhead, so. How think tanks generate endless war. Something happened and it's like, oh, let me get rid of this and try to add this again. Yes, No Woman, No Cry. That's a good song by Bob Marley. All right. There is still good left in America. I am a good example of that. U.S. think tanks rile up public image against ever-shifting roster of foreign enemies to justify wars which line the pockets of military contractors who kick back profits to the think tanks, explains retired JAG Major Todd E. Pierce. Thank you, General Pierce, for bringing this to light. So I am going to do some thinking, and that all the think tanks, better than all of the think tanks. That is, that we should send humanitarian aid to other countries rather than weapons to other countries. We should not give loans to purchase weapons to other countries. And if we go in and don't fire unless fired upon, we will have a much more peaceful planet, which I believe is a good thing. I think if we had a peaceful planet, then there wouldn't be a huge refugee crisis that we have now. Do you think David probably needs this? This is I think this is good. Consortiumnews.com. Why would they come for me? U.S. man asks, Sarah, what are you going to do when Jehovah's Witness comes for you? My hairstyle will draw them. I will say, you are not Obi-Wan Kenobi. What have you done? And then they'll leave right away. Right? Yeah. They'll like my hairstyle, but then they'll realize, oh, she's just a Star Wars person. And I'll say, only David Sponheim can save the country. Vote for him. I've heard that some Jehovah Witnesses don't believe in voting and don't believe in politics because they are waiting for the other world or something like that. Think tank. Whoops. Yes, I agree with you. Well, I don't. People can believe what they want. Thank you, Pink Unicorn. I'm doing my best to help you every day. As much as I possibly can. Did you know Bob Marley's father was white? Asked Ilex Stuff. I did not know that. Justice Department says it will end its use of private prisons. Yes. I like this. By Matt Zabodi and Chico Harlan from the Washington Post. The Justice Department plans to end its use of private prisons after officials concluded the facilities are both less safe and less effective at providing correctional services than those run by the government. Yes! People are finally listening to me. Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates announced a decision on Thursday in a memo that instructs officials to either decline to renew the contracts for private prison operators when they expire or substantially reduce the contract scope. The goal, Yates wrote, is reducing and ultimately ending our use of privately operated prisons. Yes! I don't care who steals my ideas. I'm just glad that they're actually doing it. Because I personally think that's fantastic. That is some fantastic news right there. I am very happy. Yay. Well, they will then become they will send them to the publicly run prisons, which will be great. Why are you not elated? I don't know, because you don't realize what a great thing it is. I think that the reason, here's the thing. I believe that by having publicly run prison rather than privately run prison, then the goal is going to be to not have so many people in prison. Whereas now the goal is how to have more people in prison so that the private sector can make money. No, Lou, I'm happy because they're using my ideas that I have been promoting here. That's why I'm happy, Lou. It's a good idea. Really easy idea. And my idea was that the Justice Department should end their use of, actually, I would like to see it on a state level too, but the Justice Department says it will end its use of private prisons. Because I always said that's one thing that we need to help reform our prison system, is that we need to get rid of having private contractors in our prisons, run our prisons, and then we can have the public run it. It's so much more efficient, and I'm glad they figured it out. So I think that's a good thing. Yeah, private prisons are a racket. Oh, yes, and then I would bite down. Absolutely. Munch. Crunch. I am monitoring both, Raz. I just answered a question from 286, and then I answered a question from you. 286 was over at iVlog. Gonna have to remember the movie Your Fortress. Alright, and then I don't usually monitor the chat over at BattleCam on YouTube because David hasn't done that, and so a lot of people don't type over there. Oh, that's funny. I really like this information that the Justice Department is going to end its use of private prisons. Finally.
I know, I've been running that story for 3 days now.
Thank you. I didn't.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. I said, yay, they finally are listening to us.
I know. We're listening to somebody. They've been running a study a long, long time, and they're finally realizing that they're getting ripped off at the state level and at the federal level. All right. Yeah, it's hard to take a nap when your mind is racing. I agree. I'm here, Lou. I'm here.
Okay, David's behind the... Sorry.
Oh.
There you go. See, you did it, so I do it. So.
No, that's fine, yeah. It's nice and cool with that fan blowing on us. Great.
Yeah, but hopefully they continue with that policy because she did the research behind it, Dr. Meow. Well, and they will give her till January at least.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I just feel that Hillary's getting a free ride. Jim Comey, the director of the FBI, is not prosecuting her. She's clearly violated numerous laws. She's going to be pursued for indicted for perjury by the Republicans. They're actually planning a quick lawsuit against her. I really believe we've got a serious problem with Hillary. Her health is very, very marginal at best. And her connections to the Clinton legacy of the death count we mentioned earlier.
David is running for president. This is David Sponheim.
Hi, everyone.
Happy to introduce you to an awesome presidential candidate.
We can always have a woman president in the future. I mean, Sarah would make a great president, I think. So it's not that we're trying to divert your attention from your goal of having a female president. I just want you to know that we need some clarity in our policy right now, and we aren't clear. We've had no guidance with Barack Obama. He's left our foreign policy aimless, almost rudderless. As we continue to make aggression with Russia, just today, there was a skirmish of F-22s up in the air in Syria next to the Russian or Syrian S-24s. These things are not good. We don't need to go to a state of readiness at the point of war. We don't need that. Well, the fact that the Clintons control the FBI is extremely disturbing, and I would think it would empower all of you to do something to get this third party going. The fact that you know that the government at the FBI level, at the CIA level, has been corrupted from within would empower you to do something. Because when you turn to get help from the FBI, you don't get it. You just don't. If you want to try, I mean, if there's something serious going on in your life, try calling them and see if they'll help. But we had a supporter in here, Bob 2012, who recently faced a court trial with the sheriff down in Florida that went after him, swatted him, claimed that he has in some way threatened the sheriff. And Bob has gone to court, and I got news for you. We haven't heard from Bob. So it's very likely Bob lost the case, which means no accountability from the government. Bob turned to the FBI. He got no results whatsoever in Miami. He couldn't get any accountability for a rogue sheriff that was personally targeting Bob. As Bob is not his real name, but he goes by Bob 2012, and he comes in here. Thoughts on Bernie? I think Bernie was a shill. I believe that Bernie was a sellout from the get-go. He's already buying his third $600,000 house, so it's pretty obvious he did the whole pretend to have a debate with Hillary just to cover his finances. And that's sad for a lot of you social liberals who really were looking to him for guidance. But I got to remind all of you that I am a former Democrat of 30 years. I'm more of a centrist, though, on certain issues. I'm not going to tax the working class to pay for the non-working class, so we're not going to allow this to turn into socialism, even though it already is kind of socialistic in nature. And I got to remind everybody that we have a plan. Did you hear about Trump's medical report being completely faked? No, I did not. Pink Unicorn. I have no idea what health problems he has. No. Thank you, Pink Unicorn. I had not even heard that. This is the first time I've heard it from Pink Unicorn and iBlog. That's very interesting. I find some links that, I just find interesting. I keep, like this one.
In Kenya, and visited his home country in Kenya.
I find that interesting. I'm going to keep that one. This is the deal we're offering. We're the only political group out there offering free $400 per month per U.S. adult. And that's not socialism. That's just a rearrangement of our existing problem with welfare and food stamps. We're going to be eliminating welfare and food stamps for the most part. And we're going to make sure that people that get Social Security and disability will continue to get that money, but they won't get an extra amount of money. This is a great plan. Thank you, Sarah. That was great. I love your hairdo. Nice and cool. My best chance has always been now. Abnormal. Rubber Ducky, we're going to have to mute you. Unfortunately, we don't allow people to support Trump here. I'm a centrist right in the middle of the two political parties, and we formed America's Third Party a long time ago, about 8 years ago, because we really saw a need for fiscal conservatives and social liberals to get together. And that's exactly what we did. I see Sarah turned off guest chat for a reason, huh? Yeah, our real website is right here. And if you guys haven't checked it out, it's sitting on our screen. If it's being blocked out by an advertisement, you can't see it, but it's right above my head. And you can click on the link right here, too, to get there. We are America's Third Party, American Third Party. Either one will work. Yeah, he got rich. We saw him get into that R8, the Audi R8 sports car, and the Democrats said, oh, that's not him. I'm amazed, brah. You really love me. Well, that's pretty cool. I appreciate you understanding what I'm doing. A lot of love is engendered in this effort. It doesn't happen because somebody, really thinks that it's a good idea. It happens because people are really totally focused and committed to what we're doing. And that takes love. Yeah, you can post links here, Eddie. Go for it. Eddie, I like you. You haven't done anything bad in our room. You're welcome to come back anytime. So let's get the guest chat on for a second, see what's going on in there. I don't have any backers, no. No funding, no secret society connections whatsoever. We've been building this entire platform and this whole website and everything we've done on the basis of the free internet. Now we pay for a server fee, which we would pay for either way, an ISP we would pay for either way. So we're kind of consolidating our assets and focusing on just making sure that this thing runs a long time. And we've got a good run all the way to 2020 for sure. I have a little Algonquin in me, but I'm not in any way a part of the Algonquin faith or spiritual beliefs. I've never really gone to an Algonquin longhouse meeting. I know they have them in the East Coast. I find that very interesting. I would very much like to meet some of the Algonquin Native Americans. I apparently have a great, I think it was a grandmother that was Algonquin Indian. I'm not a berserker, no. Good evening, Beekman. We do have a few people who are going to continually harass the show because they're frightened that if I get 1 minute of advertising in the mainstream media, that I very well could take the race. People know how to spell. And the American... David, how will you help struggling Americans barely get by? Yeah, well, we want to create a series of solutions. Good question, guest 311. We want to get a series of solutions together that would be including tent cities that are completely operating off of a mobile setup where you can get showers and washing machines with recycled water going. We're anticipating mobile units, much like the mobile medical unit we've been talking about. Oh, I'm going to have to take guest chat off. Apparently some of you are misbehaving. Yeah, you can't come in here and do that or I shut guest chat off. I thought I explained that to you. You're ruining it for other people. But I lived in my van down by Venice Beach for a long time, for about 2 years. And I know this sounds kind of fictitious. It kind of is in a way. This is a replica of my van that I lived in, except I didn't have the trailer part, the Field and Stream trailer part. But I did have a Field and Stream trailer when I was a kid. I used to grow up in trailers when I was a kid. Actually, we had a home, but we also trailered around. But anyway, we saw that this life is actually very affordable. And I don't think it's a problem for Americans who get $400 a month per U.S. adult to live in their car. I really don't. I know, isn't that a cool van? I've never had one like that. I had a VW that I would have gladly welded down and added a trailer to. But I did all the body work on my VW van and turned it into like the ultimate 70s love van. Although I didn't get a lot of love in there. Well, I had a few wild experiences, I will tell you that. But I kind of got tuned into the idea of world peace. This is an original art piece that was donated to us by Chase 4848 or 4888. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I kind of live like the Chris Farley sitcom. I live down by the river, eating government cheese, in the motivational speaker scene. But I really did live in a van down by the Venice Beach for a long time, because I really wanted to know what it was like to get into the whole groove of living as an average low-income person in America. I kind of felt that I had a middle-class upbringing, and I abdicated any connection to material wealth. I actually made a vow of poverty when I was 18 years old. So now my 10-cent cup of drip coffee with hazelnut beans in it tastes like a luxury experience for me, even though it's not a $3.50 latte at Starbucks. I'm trying to explain to you, I lived in my car for 2 years. I mean, it's that simple. So we're going to make sure that we're going to relax all of the laws. There I am right there. We're going to relax all the laws regarding people living in their cars. That's one thing I'm going to do for the homeless people. You will get tents. You won't have to have a full insurance plan if you're parked. We're going to have a government solution for you. If you park your vehicle, you won't be required to carry more than a small amount of insurance. We'll work that out with the mobile units. We'll have an insurance plan for you if you're living in your car. But we will offer some free tents to people on a first-come, first-served basis. But getting mobile medical units out there will also include creating mobile homeless people units. As there's no better way to describe this. Mobile services units, MSUs. That's the best way I could describe it, MSUs. Make that a note of that. It's called MSUs now. Thank you. But the mobile medical units that are used currently in areas like Rochester, Minnesota, like this one, will have a retrofit for medical purposes, but they'll also be built very similar to this for mobile service units, MSUs. And the mobile service units will have a rack of services available to you. On one side of the vehicle, you will have mailboxes. This whole side could be mailboxes right here. Imagine a grid of mailboxes, say 1,000, like 500 mailboxes all over here. Around the other side of the vehicle could be, or the back could be a walk-in shower, individual showers, maybe 4 of them, 4 stalls in there, with recycled water so people can take showers. The units will have a solar panel system for charging up things with USB and a Wi-Fi connectivity unit so that you can connect to Wi-Fi from the unit itself. This is a plan that's not going to cost too much money, and we're actually going to elicit all kinds of support from donations, philanthropy organizations, initially, to get this off the ground. Washer and dryers will be on board. You'll have the ability to wash your clothes, dry them. We'll have a separate tent set up for clothing, so the people who need to get used clothing can get used clothing. So we want to make sure that your life at the tent city is not miserable. So a lot of you are really kind of in a state of panic when you're losing your house, you can't make your minimum payments. I'm going to give you another series of ideas that will give you relief. And one of those ideas will be a moratorium on your house payments. You'll have a 12-month cumulative moratorium on paying your house payments. And we'll work this out through Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and the existing HAMP program, Home Affordable Mortgage Program. We're going to actually make sure that people get that extra leniency. So you can skip a payment up to 12 times. And then you will see the eviction notice on your door. So we are trying to fix this problem that is currently a big, huge potential crashing situation with the mortgage crisis still going on since 2009. All right, let's talk about chat. Anybody in chat have a question? Eddie has a link. I'll check it out. Eddie, that didn't bring me anything but the black child. Yeah. I'm not really sure where you're sending me there. Is that the Black Child video link library or something? Oh, okay. So you're sending me to a good place to see videos. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what I want all of you to do is ignore all the statements from the guests that are trying to shut down guest chat. And I'm going to definitely be doing a lot of trimming and control of the chat just to make sure that they don't continue. No, I'm not a Democrat on steroids offering $400 a month. I'm offering this because I'm getting rid of welfare. I would think you Republicans would be very happy about this. This erases welfare and it takes away all the federal funding for non-U.S. citizens, which Trump won't even do. Trump won't even go hard against the non-U.S. citizens. He's kind of going soft on the whole thing now that he's gotten the Republican nomination. It is their bedtime. They're running out of methamphetamines, so they're going to kind of get bored pretty soon. I would love to come to Louisiana and help you. You've got a lot of situations going on. Do you need any relief packages sent to you? Because I'm willing to put a relief package together and send off 150 snack bars to your location. If you can email me a relief location in Louisiana that you want me to send it to, that'd be great. Because we usually send out a relief package to people in distress. I know Louisiana got hit pretty hard recently. We sent 150 snack bars to Moore, Oklahoma when they got hit by those tornadoes. What I do is I take one of these extra large shipping boxes that they sell for $17.95 shipped anywhere in the country, and I put 150 snack bars completely sealed in there. It's pretty cool. That was a nice thing we did. They needed dessert items out there. This plan right here erases welfare as we know it. It's going to actually solve a lot of problems because a lot of people are living on multiple welfare checks under one roof. And really, when you look at each adult getting $400, it kind of levels the playing field on all that. Because right now, each adult is getting $400 plus their kids are getting money. Now, we will make sure that our school system has a robust amount of food available. Morning breakfasts will be available for children. Lunchtime will be free for anybody who wants to qualify. We'll have an abundant amount of food at all of our schools. The Head Start program will be moving forward just like it was in the 70s. And hi there, Mad Dog. And we'll be doing an amazing job of making sure kids are well fed. So money won't be going to mom or dad. The $200 per child won't be doled out from your tax dollars. This is actually a bigger chance right now. I know. I like to mute them. It's fun. This will actually open up the opportunity for all of you Republicans to erase welfare once and for all. This is an open opportunity for all of you to say, hey, wait a second, let's look at what David's talking about. I mean, even people who are on lots of money, anybody qualifies. If you make $100,000 a year, you could still get your $400 a month from the U.S. government. There won't be any stigma attached to the existing system. What we're talking about is taking the food stamp cards that are currently doled out and only giving the U.S. citizens $400, canceling the food stamps to all non-U.S. citizens, Nothing's happened to Chad Jackson. It's just got one person with 18,000 screens open up, and I just happened to get rid of him. A desert funding? Are you sending me a desert funding? Okay, do that. Well, they are monsters. Thank you, Potato Girl. I want everyone to know how monstrous the world is becoming, because we found out just the other night that a lot of people are getting death threats in various chat rooms on the internet. And that's another area I'm going to be working on, stopping the cyber terrorism that's been going on. This is cyber terrorism that these people are engaged in, and I will definitely prosecute death threats. A food stamp right now, people get a varying amount of food stamps, Red Ed, Ferguson. The number of food stamps they get actually depends on what they apply per month. No, $400 per month for each parent. So you got 2 parents in your family, that'll be enough. If you're a 1-parent household and you can't survive on $400 a month plus Section 8 vouchers, then you got a problem. Yeah, because your kids are going to be fed at school. They won't have to actually have lunches from you. We're a little concerned about the ripoff in the welfare industry. Now, the amount of money that we expect to pay out originally was about $787 billion per year. That's if everybody were to grab that money. Calling me a slanderous person, you better look up the word slander, because the whole law on slander is very, very specific. You can't slander a public official. Now, if I were in the public official land and I was in the public eye, which I'm not, I couldn't prosecute you for slander. Because Donald Trump is in the public eye, because Hillary Clinton is in the public eye, the slander laws do not apply. Absolutely, whatever you want me to do. I just want to show you people how bad this is. By stopping Guest Chat, Potato Girl, I'm feeding into their game. They're trying to make me stop Guest Chat. Why do people or families get food stamps instead of money? It is like money. It goes on their food stamp card. And what we're seeing is people are getting a significant amount of food stamp money right now, and 1/3 of the country is on food stamps. So we expect 1/3 of the country getting $400 a month. And as we segue, a lot of these welfare recipients are going to go, "Where's my welfare check? I don't know where my welfare check is." It is horrid, Jason. I hope you understand that it's going to get more horrid, so get tough, man. Well, you get me on the ballot or you write my name in and hope that I get elected. That's how you get $400 a month, Moonwalker. This is the deal. Many of you guys are right now hooked up, so you don't have to worry. It would just transition to your food stamp card would have $400 a month on it. So it's not a big, huge amount of bureaucracy and red tape to go through. We'd just be upping your totals. But somebody who's wondering where their welfare check is, they're going to be pissed off, but then they'll go to their food stamp card, and I can't believe I just got $400 on my food stamp card. And then they're going to be, oh, well, I guess I better spend it wisely. And we'll give you guys some tips on how to spend your money wisely when you shop. We will even publish diet plans for you to consider, and we will even offer you low-cost food alternatives through the Essential Food Program, which will be integrated with the USDA's Farm Subsidy Program, which will get the government to run efficiently and get our farmers who are currently not growing food to grow food that you can buy with your food stamp money or your $400 a month money. The $400 is a number that I set up that meets and complies with not only the ability of our government to pay out, but the ability of people to survive at the lowest level. Now, I know I can live in a tent for $400 a month anywhere in this country, even New York. I know I can do that. And I want you to know that I know how hard it is to live down at that level. It's not some easy issue to deal with. But this is all part of our Baseline Plus plan, which we rolled out in our book, Hybrid Capitalism, in 2012. And hybrid capitalism is a brand new way of looking at the way the government operates and make sure that we have the incentives necessary to grow, but to run efficiently. And we came up with hybrid capitalism, and then we didn't have the $400 a month plan until recently. It happened in our Saturday show, actually. We looked at the budget and we totaled up the number of dollars that we had available. And I know Barack Obama spent $787 billion the first year over budget. So this won't cost more than $787 billion, but we anticipate with the disappearance of food stamps as we know it and welfare, we will save at least $300 to $400 billion. So we anticipate this program is going to run $300 to $400 billion. That's the goal. Hybrid capitalism, like I've been saying, is a hybridization of about 6 or 7 different schools of economics, all melded into one. And we take the best of economic theory and pool it together. Like, for instance, with socialism, obviously getting rid of big, huge mega corporations like Google is high on my list. I'm not a socialist, but it's high on my list. But I don't want to break up Google to make anybody suffer who's using Google services. I want to spread the wealth of Google. Now, if you didn't know, the government already owns Google. We have presiding shares in Google through a company called In-Q-Tel. And this is being used behind the scenes as a social network monitoring system. Facebook is also part of that because Facebook is mostly owned by Google. So how the government's been doing this is they've been creating Big Brother by buying up corporations at the early stages using printed money. And they've done this almost seamlessly without us even knowing. They have people like Larry Page and Sergey acting as the head of these companies, but they really aren't. In fact, Larry Page wanted to get the hell out about 5 years ago and sell his $14 billion in assets. He couldn't. So he's still looking at coming up with ABC.XYZ, which is Google. And they're looking at all kinds of new ways to construct Google so that they can buy up the intranet that they're creating. I'm totally on top of what they're doing, and I know for a fact that Barack Obama recently received money from George Soros to push for that 5-person vote declaring the internet a utility. They're going to try to give Google the ability to buy up all these networks of what are called, they're incredibly fast Wi-Fi transponders that have been used in about 5 cities, and right now Google is trying to apply to the FCC for use of these really high-speed Wi-Fi transponders. And what this will do will give you a gigabyte of upload speed. Now we're talking right now, I'm doing the show from 10 megabytes per second. With these programs, you will have a gigabyte per second of upload speed, which is unheard of. It's going to open up all kinds of high-speed RF frequencies, which is dangerous to our health. People aren't even aware of that. So I'm going to do everything I can to stop that move as president. So I will prevent Google from doing that. Then I'm going to move quickly to try to create lawsuit against Google and break them up. I believe they're a monopoly. And if we're going to run and control Google as a country, you guys better dang well get some jobs out of the deal. And I want American people to run Google. I want Google to be run and operated by the American people. And in that sense, you could call it socialism, okay? But in other senses, we're not socialists because in no way do I want to impair the freedom and opportunity of free market businesses to grow. We want to lower restrictions on small businesses. And that's something no socialist would do. A socialist would impose all kinds of regulations, give power to big corporations like Hillary and Barack Obama did with Obamacare, giving the lion's share of the healthcare industry to about 5 major corporations. That is national socialism. That's what Hillary's all about. I'm not in favor of that. But in the case of big monopolies, I want to bust them up. I don't want to raise your taxes either, and this goal of hybrid capitalism does not raise your taxes at all. In fact, we support a 10% flat tax on income over $100,000. Big difference from Mr. Debt himself, Donald Trump.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt. I'm the king of debt. I love debt. I'm the king of debt. I love debt. I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
This guy wants to give everybody a tax. He wants to tax the lowest end earners at 1%. I mean, it's ridiculous. When a 10% on income over $100,000 is all we need to straighten this thing out. So we're in the anti-war rally right now, and we're going to be experimenting with all kinds of ways to raise awareness for stopping wars without having to assemble in the streets and get targeted. So when you talk to people, you ask them, do they really want to see more war? Because Barack Obama has initiated another war in Libya, another one in Syria with the rebel troops getting support, over $1 billion. And we're seeing this cavalcade into more wars right out of the playbook of the same people that got Barack Obama elected. Okay, we're recording all death threats, so those are felonies you're committing, by the way. A lot of you guests think you can shut down guest chat by doing that. It's not going to work. Trump does not want any of our troops home. He won't pull our troops home. He wants to keep them over there. He's even suggested that we should possibly start a war in Iran, a ground war, which is crazy. He's even said he's going to go after ISIS and kick their ass. And at the same time, he went to our website and copied our information. Or he saw me talk about how I blamed Hillary and Barack for ISIS. So he did the same, but he doesn't understand exactly what's going on. Because if ISIS was created by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, like Donald Trump said, because he copied it from our site, then why is he so concerned about ISIS? I could make a phone call to the CIA and tell them to back off and we'd be done with ISIS. So a lot of you have to realize a lot of the propaganda we've been led to believe is going on. The green screen beheadings that we saw rapidly about 2 to 3 years ago. These things are actually part of an almost unbelievable propaganda tool to turn us all into fearmongers, thinking that we have to go back to that playbook and start another war. So as you see, people are, we let guest chat in and they're death threats continuously now. It's because I'm that intelligent and capable of speaking without a teleprompter and going after anybody who is somewhat mildly retarded who's running for president. I think you know who I'm talking about. I'm saying most of the videos are fake. Yeah, absolutely. You didn't know that? Oh, wow. We've got ample evidence that they used a green screen to make most of those movies. In fact, most of the movies, it's already been exposed, were actually sanctioned by John McCain. Those beheadings were not real. No, they were fake. Like I said, you've been played an incredible propaganda technique. And if you bought into it, I feel sorry for you, because if you're living in fear, you don't need to be in fear. You need to relax and vote for a third party. We will guide you to peace. The two parties are being exploited by very powerful elitists that simply want to use our country as a police force around the world. That's my last statement to you, John. John, you will be removed from the show permanently if you keep it up. Yeah. So yeah, we've been played the whole violin, fear of terrorism, the whole thing. Stein is almost a Zionist beyond belief. She supports the expanded support for Israel, and I just don't believe we need another Zionist for president. We've got Hillary and Donald if you want Zionism. I'm exposing everybody on a nightly basis, in case you haven't listened, Red Ed Federation. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play you a video that's going to shock you. And it's a reveal of Hillary's bad habit of eliminating people that are problems for Bill and Hillary. There is ample evidence to open up a court case against her on this level alone, let alone Benghazi. Let's watch this. It's called The House of Clinton.
The Clintons have a long history of people in their inner circle dying under mysterious circumstances. And since this 2016 election cycle began, at least 3 more people with connections to Bill and Hillary have joined that list, sparking a renewed interest in the so-called body count of people who allegedly got in the way of the Clinton machine.
Remember John F. Kennedy Jr.? He was declared the front-runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. he supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found.
Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement.
In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd. His death was reported classified, pending the results of an autopsy.
To this day, questions remain surrounding these and other deaths of people who were once close to the Clintons. Questions that will likely remain unanswered.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and thank you.
Yeah, you're right, 704.
Yeah, they have gangster connections. If you want to go into something really interesting, look up Arkancide. Arkancide is the word to describe what the Clintons are. Remember, did you hear about John Ash, the former UN official? Did you hear about John Ash, the former UN official that was killed recently, about a month and a half ago? He was found with his barbell breaking his larynx. He was working out and somebody dropped his barbell on his neck. Well, John Ash was going to testify at a case involving Arkancide indirectly.
Yes, we want you to vote for David Sponheim, Raspberry Girl. Absolutely. Tell all your friends to do the same.
Okay, we noticed another death threat in the show, which is being recorded, and you will be prosecuted for the fullest extent of the law. We have your information. As soon as I'm president, we will send the information on. Your IP will be subpoenaed, and you will be arrested and charged with a crime. We're not going to have you support anybody here who's another competitive candidate to me. Anybody who comes in the show supporting any other mainstream candidate must realize that I have never had any mainstream media attention whatsoever. So if you think for a second that I'm going to give you time on our show to support somebody else, forget it. You're not going to do that. We've worked diligently to have a viewership now in the millions every night, thanks to all the worldwide viewers that are seeing this show and seeing the censorship that's going on in this very same network, Vaughn. They keep every single one of us down in this show. So you got the link there for House of Clinton? Check it out. It's a really good video. I'm going to look up Star Wars backgrounds and see what we can do here.
You should vote for David Sponheim, Raspberry Girl. That's who you should vote for.
We're asking you to write my name in the election because your vote for a two-party president right now is a vote for the New World Order, which means vaccinations, forced vaccinations, RFID chipping of you and your children. The future is very dark if you go with the two parties because it's up to you, the voter, to switch gears right now. And believe me, you're taking a bigger risk by voting for Hillary or Donald than you are for voting for me.
Thank you, 713.
Thank you, Earthman.
For writing in David Sponheim.
Thank you, 713. So believe it or not, your vote should count, and it's not. In the many years that it's been going on, we've been voting for some change, and we never get it because the two parties have been owned. And they've been owned by the worst possible people, sickest people on earth. Somehow it got to star background. Okay, what is the best background to grab for Star Wars that you think? This one? How about this one? Which do you like? This one?
Yeah, sure.
This one?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Now, again, going in and handing out straw polls is great. We just need to know what kind of straw poll it is. Da 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 da. All right. I don't really know who you're representing there, McGregor or Diaz. Do you believe the swimmer was guilty of making up a story? I don't think so. I think he really was robbed. I think the swimmer, the 12 Olympic medal swimmer, was being taken down because he actually really is a representative of virtue in America, and Rio doesn't want to admit that they've got any serious problems with crime, even though they've got all kinds of people robbing people in the streets of Rio during the Olympics. Yet nobody in the mainstream media talked about all the robberies that were going on during the Olympics. Isn't that amazing? And then the swimmer mentioned that he was robbed, and you could see clearly a live leak video of one of his friends being robbed right in front of his face. And now they're trying to make the swimmer get extradited back into Brazil in order to face charges. It's ridiculous. John Williams ripped off the Star Wars theme song? Well, then they won't mind me borrowing one of their backgrounds. Thank you so much. We could alter it slightly, though. Okay, we're going to put a new background in here because Sarah decided to go with this theme of Star Wars tonight.
I just decided to put my hair up.
Oh, no, it's cool. I'm going as Darth Vader, so don't worry.
I am your son. Luke, I am your son. I am your father. Luke, I am your father. Da 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 da.
Let me adjust this for you. Breaking news. We haven't heard from Ed lately. What's going on with Ed? Have you heard from him?
Somebody said they just saw him in the people section.
Oh, good. He's okay then? He's a homeless guy that's been in our show.
Or in somebody else's chat room.
Okay, good. I am in public all the time. How can I avoid the public? See how many people want to come in here, and you see when I open up guest chat, Sarah, this is such a really vibrant show. But we don't want to miss any real serious chatters, so I'm going to ask all of you who are really serious and want to chat. You can always go to our iVlog show, which for some reason is not on the screen. There it is.
I was wondering
about that. It's right over here. Corruption is rampant, says G56. Yeah, this is another chat show you can chat if you guys are having problems with all the haters and people that are fearful that I might actually get 1 minute of mainstream media attention. Because people love me. There's so many people that want to vote for a third party that it's almost amazing how many people are coming into our show worldwide and saying, wow, we really like you, Dave. Hey, 671, hi. Da 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 da. I'm here. The living example of Darth Vader. You know, they never did show Darth Vader's face, Sarah, so I'm going to go ahead and let me show you my picture. How about that, huh? An original lobby card from 1976, I think. There's a date on it. 1977. The original, that's right. This is the original lobby card that was in movie theaters for the Star Wars epic opening. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing? You like the hairdo's awesome, yeah. The movie is called King's Row. Oh, it's a theme that Williams stole from King's Row. Really? Let's hear it. Well, of course, we'll be monetized if we do that. John Williams, please come to the legal desk for immediate prosecution. What the heck? You're right. It is. Totally. Mama, you can speak in real words. Use your words, Mama June. You're forgetting you have words. What's going on with Fire Talk? Avon Taxi, what's so good about Fire Talk? Is this where you hang out now? This is a new one we should get involved in? It's taking too long to open up. Schedule an event. Ooh, kind of like Reddit. Host your next live event on Fire Talk. Thanks for that link. I'll check it out. When you come into the show, you must show respect for the future First Lady or Vice President, whichever happens to come first. Flooding, YouTube. Oh, we've got flooding going on. More flooding in Louisiana, really? Now, this is a big problem, Sarah. Check this out. Illegal immigrants from terror-linked countries are surging at our southern border right now. This is another reason why our government needs to have a strong 1,000-mile fence along the border. And this is exactly why I and Sarah talked about the fence back in 2008. Donald Trump stole the idea. And I can prove it. Yes, I can prove it, King Benny. You got a 15-minute layover to think about what you just said. I have proof, video proof, that it's a fast click thing. You got to be able to, it's like you get used to it. You just locked it up. I got a complete shutdown here. Yeah, you can't do a left click on it because it locks up the server. And now we have a shutdown. We have to reboot the Firefox.
You can do a left click.
Well, whatever happens, if time happens here because of the intense amount of cache being used, and even our camera defaults to a darker setting. See that? It's like throws all our settings off for some reason. It's not anything you did. It's just a constant thing. We're going to open it up. You can read chat over there. President Obama doesn't even talk about me. He doesn't even know I'm out there. Hang on. Oh, I've got photos of Hillary Clinton propped up with a pillow. Oh, this can't go up on... Yeah, okay. That's not something I'll bring up. Alrighty. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, Obama's upset about Malia toking one at the Lollapalooza event. That much is true. And you iVlog users, you've got some things you want to talk about. Hi, NYPD. So are you concerned about the border? I am. That's why we wanted a 1,000-mile fence with the border, and we're going to get the people and the money necessary to pay for that from the savings of illegal aliens that are currently in our prison system that are wasting $25 billion a year. We care for these people. They aren't really serious offenders. Many of them can work at the fence for 3 months. We'll provide housing and food and any medical care. And then after 3 months, they get their deportation back to their home country and no longer have to face charges in America. It's a fast track to get them out of our prison system and a way for them to actually make some money. They'll make $1 a day. Yeah, that's the problem. If I go to that link right there and hit flooding, it could tie up my server. So I have to get rid of a couple websites to do that. Man-made flooding. Okay. I'll take a look. Would any of you like to prepare for a disaster? Because if you have a disaster to prepare for, Zero Hedge has a way to get next emergency. These key items will be completely gone in an emergency. Okay, let me check out the flooding now. I just want to give you that link because it wasn't going to... It didn't grab it. It grabbed everything but that. Isn't that funny? Wow, this is harder than I expected. You know, it'd be so much better if you just kind of username and came in here. Yeah, I really would appreciate it if you just did that, because then you could actually post a link here. But I'll try to do this either way. It's probably a colossal waste of my time.
You have to go right. It won't.
Oh.
There you go.
Let's see if it's there.
Here in Shreveport, you know, we had a lot of flooding during the spring. In fact, a couple of major floods during the spring. But most of the folks here, until they really got to look at the photos and read more about it, they had no idea of the scope of the flood, of the damage in your part of the state. Tell us what the situation is right now in your hometown of Walker, Louisiana.
Well, Walker probably lost 60 to 70% of its residential homes and businesses. Denham Springs probably lost 90%.
Wow.
Flood levels in Walker, 90.
Flood
levels reached 6 feet in Walker and probably 15 feet in Denham.
Yeah, we had a friend of ours, a fellow we know named John Kay, who was on Monday, and he lives in Denham Springs, and he said that from 8 in the morning until 9 in the morning, there was like a 5 or 6 foot rise in the water. Was that the situation in Denham Springs? Was that the situation in your town also?
It actually hit us later, and the reason it hit us later is because as the Amite River crested, where it historically flows over the interstate, DOTD had erected a 4 to 6 foot high concrete barrier 15 miles long that diverted the water that would flow over the interstate directly to Walker and directly east to Baton Rouge.
That's going to be my question. You are saying that a great deal, if not all, you can clarify, of the flood damage in your town of Walker, Louisiana was, to put it bluntly, man-made. What are you going to explain what you mean and what you plan to do about it?
I'll do that tomorrow night.
Probably 99% of the flood, because in 1983, which is the comparable crest of the Amite River at about 41.5, houses that were built in 79 got 0 water. This year they got 6 feet.
Wow.
It's no.
Okay, we have a technical question. What is it, Drunk Monkey? Go ahead. That's pretty serious flooding in Louisiana. Thank you for sharing all that information. That's great. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get some support. You know, Barack Obama couldn't make it down there. He was too busy playing 300 rounds of golf with himself. Now, he has been busy working on all kinds of military plans, sending basically $1.16 billion to rebels that didn't work. And I showed you Steve Kroft's interview earlier in the show, a 60-minute show where Steve Kroft admitted that where Obama basically said that, you know, things were working out with the rebels. They wanted to support 50 of these rebels, and they got 5 of them left after spending $1 billion, which is absurd. Yeah, I got the whole point of what they said. Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm not glossing over the movie. I haven't even finished the video. I'm going back to it in just a second. You mind? You're getting a little impetuous. Somebody wanted to talk about Barack Obama's brain, and I thought, well, this would be a good way to describe why he has a scar on his head. He may have secretly undergone brain surgery. So if you're wondering why you have a man who's making bad decisions about sending $1 billion to Syrian rebels and now recanting the whole thing and saying, let's be clear, it did work out as expected. I mean, this is the kind of thing that a guy with a brain problem does. And then you got a woman who's got seizures and a man who's got undisclosed medical problems that he's not revealing, Donald Trump. You got a lot of problems as a country. We have a lot of problems as a country. Well, you got a bigger brain problem with a person who has a scar that big on his head. And you don't even ask questions as to why Barack Obama has a scar that big? Thank you, Psycho Behavior. I'm glad you learned your lesson. You're unbanned.
Impetuous usually means someone who, isn't it? Someone who just like constantly gets into.
Well, let's interview the computer and find out what.
It's UOUS.
It doesn't matter. Impetuous is a very common word describing acting done quickly.
Without care. Someone who does it without caring what they're doing.
Here's the definition. We can take time to help people with vocabulary problems, and stumbling through vocabulary is always a problem for a lot of people, especially if you're
hasty, heedless, reckless, careless.
Yeah.
Or all synonyms for impetuous.
Okay, here, let's get back to the business at hand. Rick Ramsey, Mayor of Walker, Louisiana. Let's listen in.
Coincidence that the 6 feet is basically the height of the raised interstate and the raised concrete barrier.
Mayor, that wall doesn't have seawalls in it?
Where?
Seawalls? We would
No,
have
sea holes. I mean seep holes in the bottom of it. You know, little holes.
Oh, no, there are no seep holes, and even seep holes would not allow, that only allows for runoff to go from one side of the interstate to the other. We have photographic evidence of a solid dam of water to the north of the interstate and dry to the south of the interstate.
It's weird.
So what you're telling us is that because of this I-12 barrier built by the feds and the state in conjunction,
they're flooding
that it
certain
acted
areas
as a dam and kept the water from the river from flowing away from your town and instead forced it back into your city. Is that correct?
Absolutely, no question.
So what
Do you have any repercussions?
What you going to do?
Well, we have no option other than to file suit for both our citizens and for the city to try to get federal response and relief on it, and also to have that barrier modified and removed. And you know as well as I do that DOTD and the federal government are very slow to admit mistakes. Me asking for it to happen would never happen. It's going to require a lawsuit.
Mayor Rick Ramsey, the town of Walker, did you give them a warning or a heads up while they were doing this? I'm understanding that somebody raised their hand while they were doing it.
I wish I could tell you I did, but I'm not an engineer and I'm not a psychic and I'm not smart enough to see that. So no, I did contact them after the flooding began and told them that I thought that the barrier was causing part of the problem and would like to have someone contact me and let's discuss this and get to it. I never heard from them until yesterday.
And you personally have your whole bottom floor of your home is underwater, correct?
6 feet, yes.
Oh.
And it's never flooded. And it was built prior to 83, and it's been through every hurricane and every flood event that's ever happened here.
How frustrated are you, Rick?
Well, I'm frustrated because DOTD and the federal government, they're supposed to be protecting us. They're not the ones that are supposed to be causing the flooding. I have people in houses that were built 2 feet above base level elevation, which means they were actually built 6 foot above grade, and they still got 3 feet of water in their homes. These are $250,000, $350,000 homes.
Not to go.
This isn't backwoods Cajun flooding that everybody thinks in southern Louisiana. These are upscale subdivisions that people built their homes according to the standards both by the Army Corps of Engineers and the federal government, and should have been safe.
Yeah, bedroom community of Baton Rouge, just to the north. I'm originally from Baton Rouge. Describe to people where Walker is.
The Walker is approximately 10 miles east of the city limits of Baton Rouge, 20 miles west of the city limits of Hammond, directly north of I-12.
As you saw this problem developing this past weekend, and it may have happened too quickly to have done anything, but did it occur to anybody to go Henry Thoreau civil disobedience, get a bulldozer and just drive through the damn thing?
Oh, it occurred to a lot of people, including, I heard people say, I wish I had a stick of dynamite to blow it. When you're sitting on the overpass stranded and you're looking down and you see on the north side of the interstate 5 feet of water, on the left side of the interstate you can see the highway, yeah, a lot of people did. And my question is, why didn't someone's authority be able to do that?
And I would assume this barrier that you're talking about is still, at this point, holding the water in, right?
No, sir. The water has receded. We have no water in the city.
Let me ask you this. The mayor of Baton Rouge is having some problems with looting. Is that going on in your town yet?
We are definitely a different type of community with a lot of community spirit. We did have 4 people that came in from Baton Rouge and were looting one of our Walmarts, and we arrested them and got them out of here. Other than that, it's been all community spirit, all pitching in, everybody helping each other. People are already back at their homes, stripping them out, rebuilding. Church groups are helping. We had 25 shelters open with over 9,000 people in them, and they were fed by locals. not by federal, not by state. The locals came in and fed and provided water and clothing for them.
I'm glad that they have local community support, but it's horrible that the Department of Transportation put in a barrier that they need to, I guess somebody needs to go back to engineering school.
Well, it's weird. It's like they're protecting one side of Louisiana. It's weird. Everything seems like this is a social or completely modified weather pattern. Many people believe that the dehydration in California has led to a drop point in Louisiana. That they're creating kind of a loop around California using phased array radar technology, which is very much... I know we are freezing. Vaughn is very bad. We recommend people go to other chat rooms. I've got a secondary chat room over here. If you can't get into the Vaughn chat room, I am reading chat over there. We've got chat over at America's Third Party as well. People like Eduardo. Hi, Eduardo.
And Walter.
And Walter. Shouldn't you be singing the Imperial March instead of Ride of the Valkyries? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. We're monitoring other chat rooms in case you guys want to know. Bless you. Wow. So we are also got a fan on. Don't send me big links like that, Beekman. I just don't want to click there.
You might have a point. Sheriff Woody thinks that it might be a kind of like a false flag or something. Anyway, he said maybe there's oil there in that town, and they want to reduce the property value through all the destruction that happened with the flooding, which would create cheaper land.
There you go. Good theory. That's a very strong theory, Sheriff Woody. Very good point. Yeah. We know that they are willing to destroy property just to acquire oil. Look at Justin Trudeau up in the tar pits of Alberta. They actually set fire to neighborhoods all over a uranium minefield. Actually, it's a uranium mining operation so that they could open up more uranium mining in Alberta. Go figure. People were saying, we will come in and bring you relief for the fires in that area. And Justin Trudeau said, no, I got it handled. And he just let it burn. And we remember the time that EPA, this is about a year ago, they released toxic cyanide into the rivers in Colorado. And just to open up more federal land to gold mining, selling off the rights to foreign countries for strip mining using cyanide. Thanks, Environmental Protection Agency, for desecrating Colorado. Good job. Yeah, and Hillary's behind the whole thing. That's what's really weird. When you trace back all these mega projects to do uranium mining and oil drilling operations, the Clinton Global Initiative got their fingerprint on this stuff. You know what happened to Lavoy Finicum and how he was shot in the middle of Oregon, doing nothing wrong? Well, it turns out they wanted his land. The Bureau of Land Management is actually working diligently to acquire all that land farmers have so that they can sell it to Russia for uranium mining here in the U.S. I know, Russia is going to be uranium mining in the U.S. I know. We're looking at the corporate global elite that would care less about our borders, that has literally turned a blind eye to national sovereignty and wants to control the world from the money side up. So you people who believe in a political choice and are still voting two parties, you've got to understand both Hillary and Donald are puppets for the global elitists that power up their campaigns. We are challenging all of them using a grassroots operation straight from our home studio, and we've been doing it for 8 years. And it's breaking through channels of censorship that are sitting there right now, keeping our voice from being heard by the mainstream media. Trump has already sold out. He met Henry Kissinger last month. Yeah, he's a total sellout. Period.
He definitely borrows a huge amount of money, and yeah, he's in debt.
Yeah, we just found out he's a total debt hog. He has $650 million outstanding debt. He alone has. Okay, just keep it available.
I'll ask you, what is your name that you want unbanned? 605. I'm not going to unban all, but I can unban your particular name. say that. Okay, and then so Earth Sky, you want me to click on that link, and then we'll start bookmarking some more links that David has open. Inconclusive tests. Okay. So they weeded it down to 9 questions. Yeah, I definitely don't follow into any of those questions or statements. It's so weird. Thanks for sharing, Earth Sky, over on iVlog. Let's check out what's going on in the other rooms as well. I'm definitely not a Kissinger fan. Frank G's, you say, this world is getting beyond crookedness. I still have hope for the world. I hope that we have really good... I hope that we can live in peace, we can move toward peace, and we can have a great life. Oh, that's just awful, 785. Haven't they banned that kind of people for doing that kind of thing? Thank you, 700. It says I grow more beautiful each day. I love that. Alright, this is a little bit too big. So I'll just scroll there. Okay. Hi, where do you draw the line between globalists and normal people? What is the exact definition of a globalist? I would say David would draw the line. A globalist is someone who wants there to be like a one world government and wants, and I would say he would think that they are also people that want to be in control of that one world government, whereas most people are normal people. You say globalist versus the ability of people to invest around the world. Well, investing around the world doesn't, I don't think it would make you a globalist in the term that David's using the term globalist. I think David, when he talks about the word globalist, he's specifically referring to people who want there to be no country boundaries and want all there to be like a one world government, and he does not. David is definitely opposed to any kind of one world government. He believes in the nation state model. He believes that the nation state model has worked very well for us for hundreds of years and will continue to do so. David is not wearing a wig. That's his real hair, just like this is my real hair. There's a lot I could do with my real hair, only because I haven't cut it in a very long time. Read above. 7851. Okay. Oh, somebody talked her into going onto another site to do that, to becoming a cam girl. Oh, I would just strongly advise people to not do that. I mean, if they're over 18, there's nothing really that you could do about that. But I mean, well, is he making some money off of it? 785? I mean, or he just, I don't know, wanted private communication or something like that. It's very strange. I don't think I want this, so I'm going to close out of that. You want me to let my hair down? It's too hot to let my hair down. That's why it's up. I could change it and put it up behind my head, in like a French twist or something like that. Okay, the age of consequences. Evan Taxi says, I welcome accountability. I welcome complete exposure. Every last person will see clearly and understand what the covert plan is. Each secret is suddenly uncovered. Every lie and strategy comprehended. Well, exposing them doesn't always make everyone comprehend them, but I do believe in transparency as much as possible. Yes, some countries probably do resist foreign investment. Well, one of the things that, so Poland doesn't allow foreigners to own farmland. That's interesting. The one thing I would have with foreign investment is I would be very cautious of that, especially after reading that book, Economic Hitman, or at least reading part of that book. That was definitely an eye-opener. I don't believe everything I hear, but that was a pretty interesting book. You want me to put my hair up in a bun in the back of my head? I will do that on Monday. That's how I had it earlier, but then I decided to wear it like this. Someone asked for me to wear it like this a couple of days ago, so that's why it is. I'm not going to wear heavy makeup for you. I like my natural beauty. You're half Polish and you can't even buy Polish farmlands. And they say you have to be a farmer to buy farmlands, not even Polish citizens. You have to be a farmer. Yeah.
We've got a family of mourning doves in the backyard.
That is so cool.
There's like 12 of them out there.
That's very cool. I love mourning doves. They go,
amazing.
ooh, ooh, ooh,
Yeah, it's just amazing.
ooh, ooh. At first I thought they were owls.
Yeah,
but
they coo like owls a little bit.
Yeah, because they
Amazing.
I like mourning doves. David's like a night owl and I'm a mourning dove. A recipe. Do a recipe. I was talking about recipes. My sister gave me this big zucchini and we oh, you feel ignored. You want me to click on your Google map? What? Anyway, so I was saying what I do with those big zucchinis is I actually make like zucchini pizza. And it wasn't, so I take the zucchini and I slice it, and so then it's like serves as a base for my tomato sauce and my mozzarella cheese, which is pretty good. It's like it is a, oh, this is that street view, okay, of Denham Springs, Louisiana. This is what they were talking about. All right, I will show everyone that. Yes, my sister did visit me. Add screen capture. So this is a street view, and you can see one half. I don't know. It looks. Is this repairing it? But they're putting in these big concrete barriers. And one half of the street looks like it's been washed away, and the other half looks fine. Wow. I wonder if they have anyone when it was water like that. Let me zoom in on this. Wow, you can totally tell a difference in the, wow. Just one side of the road is, you can see it just looks, it's definitely interesting. All right, go to sleep, 382, have a good night. And we'll see you back here on Monday evening. Make sure you bookmark our page. No, I'm not Mad Dog. Yeah. Okay. That was 2011 when they were installing the wall that the pictures were taken. Oh. Interesting. So that's a big wall and that wall is so big that you can see a shadow. I don't know how. Yeah, you can see, it must be twice as high as a car, because you can see a shadow of a car and then you see the shadow of the wall. So that's a pretty big wall they built. Usually, sometimes they build walls as barriers in between freeways up here, but they always have holes in the bottom of them to let water through. A barrier down the middle of the interstate, but with no waterways. We were talking about, when we talked about a wall, we were talking about the wall in Louisiana on the highway, which led to flooding in the town. Oh, you wouldn't have to complain so much about the UK being overcrowded if you owned land in Europe. Well, most of Europe is overcrowded compared to the United States, but that's because we have what many people in Europe call the Great Desert, even though many of our farmers actually live in that area, the Midwest. It's pretty amazing how much they can grow out there too, the corn and lots of different things. Oh yes, let me go back to the original link. Is this it? Oh, and then this is, oh, no, I want. So that was,
what are you closing in on?
I was looking at, what's that? Can you give, oh, thanks. This is when they were building the flood wall.
Okay, I'll take a look. Thanks for reporting this Louisiana story to me. I did not know about it until tonight. It's a barrier down the middle of the interstate that prevented water from hitting one area and flooding another area. Oh yeah, open borders are ridiculous. Hillary wants open borders. I mean, it's crazy. How could we ever even go in that direction?
So this is a wall back then.
Yeah, let's put it on the screen so we can take a look. Here.
Okay, let me just show people.
Built in 2011. Okay. That was the wall back then.
Well, this is when they first started building. Let's look. This is March 2008.
Okay. No wall at all.
No wall at all. April 2008, no wall.
Breaking ground in 2011.
March 2011, they start building it.
Okay.
April 2011.
More progress there.
Whoa, and now look the wall, they have no holes. Originally when they started building it, there was holes in it.
Yeah, they sealed the holes up because they knew that the flood was coming.
In April there's holes between it.
Yeah.
Here it's
covered up.
Solid.
There's
and here's the wall. Whoa, that is a big wall. There's no holes, breathe holes.
Well, that's because they wanted it to be a water barrier. It was built probably by the Army Corps of Engineers.
That's the progression of the wall.
Yeah, amazing, huh? It's taken 8 years to build that. What is that, like a mile long or 5 mile long? How long is that wall?
Oh, it's huge. It's not
10 miles long.
It's
Earth Sky has a very good link right here. Let me click on this. It is the heart and the hearty soul Look at that. It's the
Oh,
cinnamon.
the Ceylon? Which
Yeah.
ones are the best?
Ceylon. Okay. Cinnamon prevents serious diabetes. And people don't realize how great that is. I think everybody is prone to diabetes if you eat too much sugar. But having worked as a bibliophilic nutritionist who loves scouring the internet for the latest research and recipes, there were huge gaps in this person's knowledge. So now they know. True cinnamon and the other cheaper to produce varieties of cinnamon actually come from a completely different species of tree. I did not know that. True cinnamon is typically produced in Sri Lanka, India, Madagascar, Brazil, or the Caribbean, where its false cousin is usually grown in either China, Indonesia, or Vietnam. Another difference is in the appearance and flavor. While the cinnamon we're used to seeing on the grocery store shelves is typically dark reddish and tastes quite spicy, true cinnamon is much lighter in color and has a sweeter, more mild. Let me check. I've got some cinnamon in the other room. Let me bring it in.
Okay, so, so the cinnamon that contains coumarin, which is not recommended for people that are on warfarin. Coumarin is toxic to the liver when we consume above the tolerable daily intake.
Okay.
But maybe that's why it works, right? Just regular cinnamon might be better for having those health benefits, though.
This is ground Ceylon true cinnamon, see?
Mm-hmm.
True cinnamon. I'm going to put some in my coffee if you get rid of that. That'd be great.
Okay.
Just hit delete. There you go. Yeah, there we go. And then we go back here.
Wait, I want to read some more.
Oh, you're going to read about the cinnamon? Oh, smell that.
I actually, though, think regular
that smells so
cinnamon
good.
is better for you.
This is true cinnamon.
No.
Yeah, it's true cinnamon.
Wait.
It's a lighter variety.
I know that that's true cinnamon. I'm saying that the other cinnamon has those benefits that you say is better for people with like diabetes.
Why are you thinking the reverse?
Not
I would think true cinnamon would help because all the experts have said that.
No, I'm saying here, the difference between the content of compound is called coumarin. Ceylon cinnamon contains very low coumarin.
Yeah.
Other types of cinnamon contain high amounts of coumarin.
Right. Okay, so this does affect people on blood thinners like warfarin, because many people who are older are on warfarin. Hang on, we got a situation here. You just want to take that like there, and then mute it or ban it. But then
best to ban it
if you want. I would never do that to get media attention. This allegation that I would swat myself is insane. And we're still waiting on an incident report from them. They have an open case. They won't solve the case. We're still waiting on that. Yep, cinnamon breaks down plaque and blood. So I think Sarah's right about this. The stuff that's coming from China is the average is actually better for you at thinning your blood.
At thinning your blood.
But not necessarily related to diabetes. What's your take on insulin resistance and diabetes?
If you suffer from prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, cinnamon can be a true lifesaver. It's been shown in studies that even small amounts, as little as half teaspoon a day, can help you lower your fasting glucose levels. But it doesn't say that it has to be true cinnamon.
Well, let me just put some true cinnamon in here. Just a little bit in my coffee cup. Hopefully I won't pour the whole thing in. Here we go. Just a little touch. Just a little touch. See that? Just so it hits the surface of the cup. Okay, I'm going to experiment with this and see if I can now eat 2 gallons of ice cream and come up with any symptoms of diabetes or prediabetes. What do you say? I'm kidding. It's a joke. Remarkably refreshing. Very refreshing. I mean, you might want to try this with tea, Sarah. Sarah and I have been watching cooking shows all day, so we're kind of in the cooking show mode.
Yeah.
You can put cinnamon that's available at Starbucks. It's a shaker top. When you get your Starbucks cup.
They don't always put cinnamon in the cappuccino, but you can put cinnamon in cappuccino.
And you walk up to the Starbucks front counter and say, "Hi, I'd like to sample your newest coffee." And they'll give you a little sample cup about this big. They'll hand it to you, and you take it over there and put a little cinnamon in it.
What's MCT oil?
That's your big beverage for the day. Cost $0. Oh, you're boycotting Starbucks? Why? Because they support the right to bear arms or something? That's crazy, man. We support the right to bear arms. Put a little MCT oil in your coffee and you'll lose 1 pound a month without exercises.
Thank you.
I think you're onto something there. Earth Sky just said MCT.
What is that?
I don't know. MCT oil. Let's check it out. Boy, we're learning a lot tonight. This anti-war rally is kind of a love-in style of discussion, chat, interaction. Walter says Poland has 3 times as much land per person as England, although historically it tends to get invaded a lot. Well, people tend to want more land. I found out doing the math that there's enough arable land on Earth to supply every single person, every human, with 15 acres. I was quite shocked. I mean, here I've been leading discussions on this depopulation issue, and it really comes to mind that the reason why they want depopulation is that the rich people want all the land. That's why they want depopulation. We could easily support more humans. We're the only species on the planet that actually wants to get rid of itself. No other species out there except for lemmings, and they don't really want to jump off cliffs.
It's like from coconut oil.
Think about it.
Or palm kernel oil.
So it's palm kernel oil?
Medium chain triglycerides.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Thanks, Sky. I don't mess around with coconut oil. It's actually saturated fat.
Yeah.
I think it'll clog my arteries.
Well, I don't do palm kernel oil, but I would do coconut oil.
You know what would happen is I'd lose the pound a month and it would all go to my arteries. It'd be breaking down and forming plaque in my arteries. I'm going to pass on that.
You should try cinnamon, Eduardo.
So we'll look at this link, bulletproofexecutive.com.
Unless you're on a blood thinner.
So this is kind of like the nutrition hour of our peace rally. Isn't that great?
Food.
Having been drinking bulletproof coffee made with XTCT oil or brain octane, you already felt that, boy, these people are really into it, man. I did not realize that the world of nutritionists and nutritional science has taken, it's like off in a weird direction where people are trying to lose weight by spiking an already caffeinated coffee. Isn't that funny? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm almost blown away. I'm just experimenting with cinnamon right now. It's not like I don't need all that. But thank you. I didn't say Coumadin, I said coumarin. Thank you. Coumadin is a blood thinner. Dave, I have a question. Why did the mainstream media ignore the corrupt Democratic race and not address angry Bernie supporters? For the same reason I haven't had any mainstream media attention for 8 years, Beekman.
They're promoting
Welcome
Hillary.
to the club.
Well, actually, Beekman, David should play that clip that he has.
I will.
That says, that's by the mainstream media guy, that he basically says, the mainstream media has done everything that we possibly could to support Hillary.
Yeah,
that's
it's amazing.
What they've done.
They have. Waiting for...
Dave, you saw that? Yeah, that's what it is. That's why they didn't address the angry Bernie supporters at all.
Here it is right now. Check this out.
Doing what they call in politics freezing pockets, because the donors are giving her money thinking she's going to run. That means they're not going to have available money for other candidates if she doesn't, and I don't think she's going to give it to them.
She's on the way to deciding.
We'll see. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
I mean, she's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
You know, I mean, she's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
You know, I mean, she's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
You know, I mean, she's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign.
Wow. I love that clip. Isn't that great? Thank you, Scissor Fight, for zooming in on that. That was really good. If you ever see cracks in your watermelon when you cut it, throw it out.
Why?
Check this out. This is cutting edge information, Sarah. brought to you by our wonderful viewer, Earth Sky.
Why?
Check it out. Look at.
I'm trying.
Well,
a picture doesn't give me any information.
Bigger isn't always better. Okay. Well, I shouldn't be saying that. Could you have some other guy say that? At least when it comes to at least when it comes to watermelons, the summer treat that nearly everyone loves, the tasty fruit could be eaten in a variety of ways, including by the slice.
Keep scrolling down.
Unknown to China farmers, they had been using a fertilizer that contained a chemical called 4-chloropheneron. The chemical has the power to expand the size of the watermelon by 20% at more rapid pace. 4-chloropheneron, which ultimately leads to greater profits. At least that is what the fertilizer company thought. When farmers had started to see their melons breaking in half and taking on a shape that was absent from their natural form, they were alerted. Even the taste and texture was altered from its original state. Farmers saw an abnormal amount of white seeds when the fruit normally contained mostly black seeds. I've seen that before. The breaking in half of the watermelon was said to look like an explosion, while the chemical, which has been utilized since the early 1980s, is thought of as safe. Director of the Vegetable Research Institute at Qingdao Academy of Agricultural Science, Ku Xian, stated that it's the best to veer away from plant hormone chemicals because watermelons are particularly sensitive to chemicals. While the chemical used in the fertilizer seems to have the power to explode a watermelon, it has been confirmed that it is not harmful to health. The major downfall of the oversized fruit caused by the chemical is the watermelon may end up looking slightly abnormal, and not many people have the room to store such a large room item at less than a natural taste. Well, while Jian made this statement, the EPA countered it with an argument of their own. Also used in kiwis and grapes, the fertilizer is proven to be cytotoxic and can lead to acute dermal, oral, and respiratory toxicity if ingested. While not carcinogenic, the substance contains toxins that can lead to bigger issues, including increased fetal mortality and stomach lesions. Multiple tests have been completed on animals and proved to cause damage. In addition to the toxic damage, the chemicals in the fertilizer can spread into the environment, leading to damaging effects on our health that stem from the chemical blending with flora and fauna. I just love it when I read. It's just so great. I should read books on tape for people.
The Chinese government will continue to use its power to maintain an increase in food production, regardless of the poor effects on our health and the environment. While the output of food is very important to the Chinese government, they offer a bit of hope in veering away from the toxin-filled fertilizers and urge consumers to aim for organic fruits and vegetables.
All right, well, I gotta tell you, this is weird. Yeah. It was supposed to be a story about dangerous melons, and it turns out to be kind of like a promotion of chemicals used in China. I don't know.
It's saying basically if you have those watermelons, they could have used those chemicals in the growing process.
This is amazing. We have a link from Scissor Fight. We'll play later tonight. I want to play a caption of this right now. But it is Gilligan's Island, all 99 episodes at the same time. Somebody has layered all the episodes together.
10 hours of
Boy, don't you just love artificial intelligence? They have nothing better to do with their time, these computers. Wow. Imagine taking all those episodes and leaping audio. It's like better than the wall of music that... Thank you. Wow, wasn't that great? For canned fish, you should avoid at all costs, Earth Sky. Are you just feeding us links tonight, Earth Sky? Are you? Because this is like Tree Hugger night or something. I love this. Is this great? You know, I've been accused of being a tree hugger before by a bunch of hardcore conservatives. I don't really mind being called a tree hugger sometimes, because I was an environmentalist all my early childhood and youth. I'm still an environmentalist, but now I'm thinking of sustainability. Okay. Nix these from your food shopping list. Stat. When it comes to seafood, generally consensus is that fresh is best, but for many people, geography, budget, they make canned seafood. Okay.
The best things are oysters, mackerel, and something else are good.
Oh, the best things are oysters, mackerel, anchovies.
And anchovies.
Okay, oysters, mackerel, and anchovies. I'm going to put that on my buy list. Yeah, I've got anchovies and oysters and mackerels. Most canned tuna is dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. If not for the... I'm sorry, I'm still singing the Gilligan's Island thing. Tuna is perhaps one of the sickest wickets when it comes to the canned foods conundrum. In 2015, the environmental watchdog Greenpeace released a buyer's guide for canned tuna, ranking more than a dozen major brands based on sustainability, mercury load, and other key factors. They discovered that more than 80% of the tuna sold in the U.S. comes from unsustainable, destructive sources.
Unsustainable, destructive forces.
Many tuna companies are loneliness. Use long lines. Sorry, loneliness. Why am I seeing loneliness? There's some sort of a psychic disorder in my brain span, which contain hundreds of hooks and can span miles of oceans. Okay, I got the safe tuna thing. What is this, a joke?
Keep going down.
This is like boring. What to buy? Well, who can't afford beautiful, fresh tuna? Especially the kind from Fukushima. This is a boring and dud article. You know, get out of here. I've seen dead articles before, but this is almost as bad as the chat. Vintage photos of space-age concept cars paired with hot chicks from the 60s and 70s. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Beekman, are you allowed to post here?
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
I bet if I could watch them all at the same time, you would be God. 794. Number 5, canned 16-year-old corn is good corn. It's wholesome. You know, as Sarah's my witness, I called the USDA up and said, hey, there's some green meat on my grocer's shelf. And I swear, this guy said, well, hold on just a second. And I heard him leafing through a book. And all of a sudden, he starts reading from the USDA code book. And he said, sir, I just want you to know that code so-and-so and so, the green meat is wholesome beef. And it's perfectly fine. Really? I'm sorry. Chat is good. I like your chat. You chat very good.
You guys are awesome.
You give good chat reach around.
Thanks for being
Thank
here
you.
tonight.
Thanks for being here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, green meat is wholesome. It says it in the USDA chapter 7 whatever yeah. Anyway.
At least according to the, yes.
I asked the guy, what is bad meat? He said, well, if it's got hair growing on it and it's purple, then we need to look at it. So hair growing on it and it's purple. All right, good to know. So you're learning things tonight on our show. Talk about a nation that can't produce good meat. And we can't export to Europe, and you know how big of a market that is for us? It's absurd that we can't do that. Okay, apparently Vladimir Putin is saying George Soros is wanted dead or alive. This is like an all-out hatred thing. You know, George Soros is big on the New World Order. You probably know he and Brzezinski and all these others are trying to control the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton. Well, Putin is putting out a death threat against George Soros, which is really kind of strange. Now, if this is true, it's from yournewswire.com. Russia has officially declared that billionaire George Soros is a wanted man in their country, citing him and his organization as a threat to Russian national security. This is a strange tour of events. You know, what happened with the leak of George Soros' material is it's put our entire nation at almost a stage of concern and awareness that there are people controlling our political structure from within using money. And that's what I've been saying all along in our show. Monetary elitists controlling our politics. I repeat that over and over again every night. Well, sit right back and watch the extended show with Dave. And the beautiful Sarah will be leaving, and the Star Wars background will be leaving in about, well, 5 or 6 minutes. Huffington Post, Mississippi. Let's see, what's this? Very strange. Movie star and his wife. I grew up watching the Gilligan's Island show. It's kind of hard to get it out of your head when it's in your head for the early pre-stage programming of my CPU. During my early formative programming years at the public school system, I was taught to do my homework, and then I got to watch Gilligan's Island after conducting proper research. I was trained well. Snopes caught lying for Hillary again. Questions raised. Again, Snopes caught lying, and we've been saying this all along. I'm glad you Democrats are finally coming in here.
Like Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Marianne and her wife and her... No, she's not lesbian. The movie star. Okay, let's take a look here. Gilligan's Island background. Well, this story is interesting. Snopes caught lying for Hillary again. Questions raised. Well, we know that Snopes is run by the Annenberg Foundation, a liberal think tank, which has been dominating our politics since Barack Obama dominated everything. Movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Island. Okay, there's a total retro thing. That's not even them. That's a fake of them. Pretty good fake, though.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, it's black and white. Okay, Snopes has been caught lying again, proving that it has a political and partisan agenda and is willing to mislead and deceive its readers in order to advance the cause of Hillary Clinton and the DNC, the establishment. Early this year, Correct the Record, a pro-Clinton super PAC, admitted they are spending millions of dollars to employ an army of trolls to correct and push back against internet users who criticize Clinton. Wow. I wonder, maybe that's what the people are doing in our show. I wouldn't doubt it. That could be the clan of haters that come in here. You want to hit the close program?
Oh, it stopped.
The movie star.
That sucks.
Well, just hit open it up again. Just hit, and then use the same one. It seems to work.
That's disappointing, I mean.
Okay, we're doing kind of a fun night tonight. Yeah, it didn't really, want to get too serious, since we've already effectively stopped war around the world. Ever since we started this show, there has not been new wars. We saw that John McCain and Barack Obama were pushing for war in Syria, and we started this show, and we've been able to keep it from happening. So far, so good. The movie star. Let's take a look here. Just take a moment. We're going to kind of celebrate the moment, and just a retro moment for Gilligan's Island, being it's such an important show in our history. Here it is. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da. Now let's see if we're monetized.
Can we start a local one or no?
Yeah, start a local one. The movie star.
That's gonna be in David's head. Oh,
hang on. I got to get a direct shot. Hang on. You're leaving in just a second, so I just wanted this outro to be perfect. I want to record it, actually, if that's okay.
You can do whatever you want.
Thank you. I was trying to be more creative, learning from myself. It's a self-teaching program that I learned. Gilligan's Island on cue. 1. I should record here first. Let's put this on pause. Okay.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. When they started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship's aground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, Professor, What would you like me to make tonight for your birthday? Would you like a banana cream pie or a coconut cream pie?
Well, Gilligan tried to tell me what kind of cream pie, but he's over there in the jungle, Marianne.
Could you make me something to use for my garden?
Actually, we can compost everything and live sustainably on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, can you make me a washing machine?
Oh, no, I can't. But
Well, you can with the bike parts that you magically found on the island.
Well, of course. Here on Gilligan's Isle.
Oh, we're stuck on the island again.
Oh, how are we going to make ends meet? We're going to need $400 a month per U.S. adult. There's got to be a way to do this. If we got that kind of money, it'd be fantastic. Oh, it's true. We wouldn't have to spend money, Marianne.
That's why money is just like
it's ridiculous.
As people say, it's just in their head.
Money is in our head, actually. You know, I feel like we are living on an island. In a way, we are actually living on an island.
We're living on an island in duplicate.
Sarah and I live on an island here in the Pacific Northwest, and we've been actually quite blessed with some beautiful weather, great environment. But we are also, unfortunately, receiving daily aerial jets flying over because we live right next to a naval air station, a wonderful naval station, yeah. And it's traumatic because the scientific evidence shows that the sound of 120 decibels actually fractures our liver and causes strokes, Marianne.
At least it doesn't have to happen here on Gilligan's Island. I'll just think of somebody here to rescue us.
Well, actually, these jets, Marianne, are causing nothing but physical problems and could easily cause a stroke. Now, I'm a little concerned because I'd like to get a reduction in those jet flights and make it just a training facility as opposed to a jet testing center. We could do that down at the Mojave Desert at China Lake, Marianne. Here on Gilligan's Isle.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, we've got an applause. Sarah's leaving for the end of the show. Thank you.
Here's a white screen. White screen.
All right, that was great. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of role playing on our Saturday show just for fun. Back to the chat room. You are too near the inlet. Twilight Zone. Yeah, we could do a little Twilight Zone. That'd be fun. You're traveling through another dimension. Hey, so this is the extended show. Welcome. We are broadcasting from the helm of Gilligan's Island's background here. Imagine, if you will, one said David Spanheim running against all odds for the presidency. Walter says, do you think a UK-USA free trade deal would happen quickly if we do go ahead with the Brexit? Yes, I do. I'm pro UK-USA trade, Walter. Absolutely. We've been long-standing allies, and I think we have to keep moving in that direction. Thank you for that. Uh-oh. Eduardo got diagnosed with a 1C of 11.5. And you're off meds now, just on diet? Good. Well, Eduardo, keep it up, man, over at YouTube. Yeah, it's not easy. Who's Marianne? Okay, well, Marianne's this woman, played by Sarah. Her name was Dawn Wells, and she's actually doing pretty well now. She's still doing, she's looking good. Tina Louise, I understand, is looking good, too. If you didn't grow up in America, then you wouldn't know who Marianne and Tina Louise were back in the 1960s. So if you were born in 1995, you probably wouldn't know who these beautiful women were. But I grew up with these ladies. They were the icons of beauty at our time. Tina's not doing too well? Okay. Well, don't tell her that. That would be very offensive. You know, I stopped the Dave Dad dancing, because I was criticized by one of my supporters. It hurt me very much that one of my supporters said that I didn't dance well. And I'm going to let that ruin my entire dance future here on Gilligan's Isle. No, I don't wear diapers, but thanks for asking. Okay, are we done with these pictures? Great. Okay, so how are you going to be benefiting from no war? Well, we don't have to draft you or your children. That's one thing. The country will save a lot of money and will be able to afford a free $400 per month per U.S. adult. Because we found this amazing connection between the government spending wasteful money on war versus the government spending very productive money on people. There's a huge multiplying factor when money is spent in the U.S. So 400 billion, or actually 400 to $700 billion spent in the U.S. for this program is way better than spending a 400 billion on a war over in Iraq or Afghanistan. So we can begin phasing those down with my solution, which we came up with. 2009, I came up with the safe zone idea. Yeah, we'll be cutting 50% on military spending. That was the idea all along, Kool-Aid Anthrax. I've been talking about that since 2008. Yeah, thank you. We don't have to in any way hurt your military stocks. Those won't be damaged or impacted. If you're still an investor in Lockheed Martin's going to have continual programs with the U.S. government. No problem there. We want to make sure that they do the right thing, though. You know, spending wasteful money on the F-35 is not the way to go. We'll continue with the existing projects, modifying the F-35 possibly as an automated bomber, unmanned. That's an option. And we'll also look at getting Lockheed Martin to work on a graphene project for water desalination, which will be a big, big price ticket. We'll be able to fund this using renewable energy savings bonds. So it will be directing money directly into companies like Lockheed Martin. I'm not forgetting the importance of these companies. Don't get me wrong. Just because I want to retool our military to be more ready in terms of efficient and prepared for the possibility of disposable unmanned vehicles. Unmanned vehicles that we can lose in war and not worry about. Because I think with the recent acquisition of high technology in the hands of the wrong people, you could see a lot of these UAVs being overtaken, like the UAV that was so overtaken and caused an amazing Lockheed Martin unmanned aerial vehicle was pulled in to the Tehran airport in 2010. And this story never ever got to the mainstream media. It never got reported. But that airport landed it, and it's a known fact that this is a situation that should have been avoided. Lockheed Martin lost control over the telemetry and navigation for that vehicle. And I don't have it on me right now. I thought I had it right here. My file got pretty big. It's not popping up. But yeah, it was landed in Tehran. Tragic. When we look at the test flight vehicles of some of these amazing airlines, though, we really are seeing modernization that needs to be moving in the right direction. And tonight we're going to be playing a video that shows the failure of the F-35 project. And it'll tell you all the good, bad, and in-between things about the program. So if you want to follow up on that, we will be playing this video later tonight. It's a really good video. It's called "The F-35 is a turnkey," or excuse me, is a turkey, the expert says. The expert says it's a turkey.
Attacks targeting Iraqi security.
So we'll be playing you that tonight. All right, we've got a video link in here. Michelle has a huge slip-up exposing Barack Obama's real birthplace, and he's not happy about it. Okay, we've all questioned if Obama was born in America, and I've been talking about prosecuting Obama. That's been high on my list. Oh, we got an Alex Jones one here. Okay. Yeah, that's the same video I played tonight, man. He took that story from me. I played that in 2008. Oh, Skipper caught looking. That's pretty cool, Beekman. Beekman's been working on the Gilligan's Island theme. Wow, good for you. Okay. Very good. See, you're getting better. The training's helping. How long have you been on chat resistant training? Holding back on over chatting? Well, you know, that's your fantasy land, man. I'm not allowed to fantasize about other casters. I live in the real world, you know, where you are monogamous with one woman. You're working on it. You think Gilligan was gay? Let's take a look. Let's ask our artificial intelligence robot. Was Gilligan gay? The homosexual agenda of Gilligan's Island is usually dismissed as lowbrow camp by most cultural. There's an actual story about this, yeah. 5 things you didn't know about Gilligan's Island. Wife of late Bob Denver says Gilligan's Island star devoted, check this out, the skipper, no, he had a big steakhouse in California. And believe me, that guy was pretty straight. He's a straight arrow. He didn't dine with Rock Hudson much. You're asking me, I know. I used to grow up in Hollywood. I know all the stars. That's not true. Oh, look at this. Check this out. This is so sweet. The wife of late Bob Denver says Gilligan's Island star devoted last 2 decades of life to his autistic son, others with special needs. Isn't that special? Oh, that's wonderful. Bob Denver played the goofball, yeah. So don't be saying nasty things about Bob Denver, okay? The Professor and Marianne. Okay. Obviously, we've been programmed to talk about Gilligan's Island tonight, so we've got to change gears. We have 15 minutes or more of fun to chat, and I'm not really interacting with the chat room. There's a problem there. Bob. Walter. What's going on? He used to get stoned and forget his lines. That's cool. I don't see that person in our show very much. This Amanda person. Oh, that's a good scene. There you go. A smooching session with Gilligan and Marianne. We always thought Gilligan, actually, we always thought the Professor was going to make it with Marianne and or simultaneously. The movie star, Ginger. I don't know. I didn't think a threesome was in the works there on Gilligan's Island, do you? The New World Order used the same videographer at CERN, Munich, and the Nice Hoaxes. Ah, I knew this. Thank you. So good. This is a really good link coming from Scissor Fight. Thank you very much. A 10-minute video we're going to be playing later tonight in about 15 minutes. We've been getting all kinds of weird videos coming into our show. And the one from CERN was almost like a snuff film last night. It was the weirdest thing. Behind the gates of CERN, where they're doing all this weird Hadron Collider experimentation, we saw this amazingly weird video. Now we're finding out it's coming from the same videographer as Munich and the Nice Hoaxes. This is phenomenal. These people are employing the same person to push this agenda. Let me play you a little bit of that CERN video last night. That was weird. I was telling Sarah that it feels like the Illuminati, or whatever these people are pushing an agenda, and they want to be approved. You know, they want validation to be sick, Luciferian evildoers. So they'll have these events where they're sacrificing somebody, and it's right in front of our eyes. They just want to laugh at our inability to do anything about it. It's kind of like a criminal, if you've ever seen it. The criminals actually go back to the scene of the crime because they actually want to gloat on it. It's a common factor in criminology. They look at that simple fact that a criminal will always go back to the scene of the crime. So it's like they want to gloat on it. It's the same mentality. Very, very weird. The global agenda. That happens. Yeah. We've accepted insults in the after show. You can start your insults right now, but thank you. I want everyone to know that, if you do threaten my life or Sarah's, you will be prosecuted. So we're giving you the opportunity to do that. We are recording the broadcast. Good. I think we've finally come to a settling point where we can actually start the show. Thank you. I finally had clarity. We don't want war. And I know that you don't want war, but the elitists do. And like I said earlier, they want depopulation. So they don't care if we kill each other off. They don't care if your young children go off to fight wars. They don't give a crap about you. And because they don't care about us, they also don't care about our environment. They think they can bury themselves underground, in underground safety places. I mean, the family, the Waltons, the makers and owners of Walmart, have an underground facility, a massive facility in Little Rock, Arkansas. That's a known fact. I did not know that why Sherwood Schwartz named the SS Minnow. You got me on that. You stumped me on that one. Fascinating. Tony Montana. See, I'm recording the chat right now. Pretty good, huh? Say what with Tony Montana's statement? You've got to go voiceover like this. Go VO, voiceover, T Montana to correctly write code into my CPU. For instance, voiceover, T Montana, say hello to my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, so try it out, see how it works. It's the interactive Dave bot. I will give you an instantaneous response. You can also do VO C Eastwood, Clint Eastwood. Go ahead and make my day. Oh, okay. Okay. You know something? I'm recording the chat, man. I'm recording the chat over here on the other computer, man. Okay? Say hello to my little friend, the other computer. Hidden cam. Gun show loophole exposed. Go figure. What's this about?
What is this?
This is the next background check.
Oh, I thought at gun shows you didn't have to do a background check.
Oh, no.
Okay. I know technically you can't sell it, but are any of these fully automatic? Negative. Real quick. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. Can I get a gun here without a background check? Son of a... .com. With all the recent demagoguery, it's hard to imagine why any of you heathens would oppose sensible gun control measures. After all, it's your trustworthy president, administration, and celebrities.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to sign off right now because I've got a technical error, but I want to thank all of you for coming into our broadcast. We'll be bringing up the show in just about 5 minutes. I've got to restart the computer.
Listen, during the theater shooting in Colorado, I was able to go and buy an automatic weapon.
Take care. Good night, everybody.